Facebook and YouTube record sale. When I hit go live, that means we are also broadcasting not only here on Facebook, where I just naturally assume people's watching, but we're also on YouTube, in case you didn't know that. So we're live on both platforms. Sorry we're, I guess, technically 52 minutes late from normal scheduled time. But for the most part, we're not too terribly late, in my opinion. We're here. At least we're here. I'm in the process of getting everything shared. If we ever are late, it's usually my fault. And I didn't realize I had shared that to... Bad thing about Instagram now is if you post on Instagram, it pretty much automatically shares it to your Facebook page as well. I've noticed people doing that on even their personal accounts. So let me delete one of these. Also, I think Facebook servers are about halfway working right now. Anytime I click on something, it's been doing this. Has nothing to do with my internet connection. I think Zuckerberg's been doing some crazy stuff in the last 48 hours with his new social media website, Threads, and Facebook's just been acting weird. I mean, I spend hours on Facebook every day, and I can tell you when something's a little weird on Facebook. And it has been lately, so I spend way too much time on Facebook, probably. My screen time usually says many hours. Many hours. Okay, so let me get back to where I was now. As you see, in the hot picture, we got some really cool stuff to show you tonight. I've got a couple new Funkos, I've got new vinyl, and I've got this right here. This thumbnail pretty much sums up what we've got going on tonight. Great new collectibles, great new vinyl, and great new vintage stuff. So, all right, Threads. Well, I'm hoping eventually this Restream software will get where we can go live on Twitter. That's what I would hope. We are live on Twitter right now. You can't comment on there. You can go watch right now on Twitter, but if you comment, the comments do not appear here on Restream. So hopefully we'll get that fixed, or they'll work with Mr. Musk and they'll get that fixed. I'm sure with a couple clicks he could probably fix that pretty soon. So if the man can figure out how to land rockets, I think he can fix probably Restream's Twitter problems. He can figure out how to make a rocket re-land on Earth. Pretty mind-blowing to me. Maybe Stephen Chesney can help us out. He works at SpaceX. So, okay, let's see here. Now, finally, I've got to where I need to share this. Facebook's running a little slow. Let's go here and share this to a whole lot of records and a couple other groups I shared in. So, okay, things are running just like I said, a tad slow on my end. Probably nothing to do with the stream, but I'm trying to get everything shared. So let me do that, and I'll go here to this group. Now I'll go to our group and share the link as promised. Okay. Let's see. There it is. Okay. Now I got to get it shared one more place, which is on our main CollectCo page, and probably by 7:59 I'll be able to show our first record. Let's go get it shared on Instagram and there too. Yeah, I plan on start sharing pre-orders. We have just a handful of followers on Twitter. I plan on doing some pre-orders on there. I know a lot of people I figured if you spend a lot of time on Twitter, like most people, including myself. If you're scrolling through your timeline, that might be an extra place you can see an announcement or a pre-order. You could see an announcement for a pre-order or a sale on Twitter. So when I first set up that account, I was sharing a lot of pre-orders on there, and the few handful of followers we have were liking them and seeing them. But I do need to get on there and start making a better effort to sharing those pre-orders. So that will give y'all an extra outlet to see stuff. So, and we have a TikTok as well. So let's see here. Okay, now I have finally got the YouTube where I'm about to share this to Instagram, which has been working a lot faster. So let's get that done, and we'll be able to officially start showing records. Takes me about 5 minutes to get everything shared to the proper outlets. So, all right. And live now. Okay. No MySpace. Now, I think MySpace is truly the only, I think that's truly the only dead social media I can count on. Facebook's got a lot of people, obviously. YouTube has a lot of people. Twitter usage is at an all-time high. So, I guess if we can be on there, it would be a plus for us, for sure. Which we are on there, but I guess the other streaming is Twitch, which I don't really use, but our software works with Twitch, but I think that's more for video games. So, okay, let's go through. Let's see what we're going to have with our first crate of the night. Let's just go through. Let's see, what's going to be our official warm-up crate? Or we could just start with brand new stuff. That might be best, just to start with brand new stuff. Let's just do that right away. Brand new stuff. So, I will make mention of one record in just a second. We're under kind of like strict lockdown about it, but I'll explain that in just a second. So, let's see what we got here. Okay. Lots of great stuff. I'm assuming this is the Japanese stuff here. They have me 6 crates of vintage. We have 6 crates of vintage up here. We have putbacks behind the counter. We have Japanese, and we have new vinyl. So we have a lot of fantastic stuff to go through. So kicks blow my fuse. As soon as they make that available to me, that's a big one. That's going to be a big pre-order as soon as that becomes available. But I have not seen the information. I'm chipping away at pre-orders, but I still have a list that long on my files, on my phone, on my notepad. So, a lot of stuff to pre-order. Okay, let's start with this, which I didn't realize I could get. I thought these were like a one-time deal, but they were still in stock. This is the indie exclusive red vinyl of John Lee Hooker's Burnin' on the limited edition transparent or translucent red vinyl for independent record stores, the electrifying 1962 blues album featuring Hooker's iconic signature hit, Boom Boom. Newly remastered from the original analog tapes. John Lee Hooker, Burnin', and that's from Kraft on red vinyl, $36.99. Carnivore, Retaliation, that's on limited edition neon orange clear vinyl, and we had one person waiting for that to come back in, and that was Peter Espinoza. The other night, Peter, you claimed a Carnivore, and we sold out, and we had to order more, and there is the other one. If anybody else wants an extra, Peter, we've already got yours tagged. That Hawkwind album you saw on the thumbnail, we'll auction out a little bit later. We have Motorhead, 1916. Motorhead is $36.99. Motorhead 1916, that is $36.99. And Nirvana, Bleach, and that is Nirvana's debut album remastered from the original analog tapes from Sub Pop. And Shane Devers, you was on a waiting list for that. We sold out of that title the other night. We have a lot of waiting lists, just one people, where maybe we had 3, I guess we had 3, maybe 3 records and 4 people claimed them. So that's $28.99 for Nirvana Bleach. Disturbed Indestructible is $29.99. Disturbed Indestructible is $29.99. And we have Dr. Dre 2001. Once again, a short waiting list, but Tracy Miller, we have you down for a Dr. Dre 2001. That's a 2LP, $44.99. The Breakfast Club is $36.99. I actually went ahead and ordered 5 more of these, and they only sent me 1, as usual. In-demand record of any kind, new, vintage, original, whichever. The Breakfast Club soundtrack, $36.99. These were actually on sale through my distributor, so I went ahead and grabbed a couple more, as popular as it is. The 2LP Stranger Things soundtrack, which is Seasons 1 and 2. Seasons 1 and 2, and that is $29.99. Joe Diffie, Greatest Hits Nashville. They actually pressed this about a year ago, and now they have released it again. And I don't know what the first color was. I think the first color was purple too. They've released it again, and as you can see, it's basically under a new barcode. So I don't know if that was change in licensing or what, but these went out of stock, and now they're back again. So this is Joe Diffie's Greatest Nashville Hits, $28.99, and that's on purple vinyl. LA Guns, Hollywood Forever, that's on silver vinyl if you didn't get one of those already. We have filled all the waiting list and pre-orders. LA Guns, Hollywood Forever is $29.99. And Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny. Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny, $33.99. We had a request to order Tenacious D's first album, which is coming up in just a second. And I've got, this one was in stock, so I went ahead and grabbed it. The Pick of Destiny, $33.99. Chad's social media strategy. Well, as soon as I said that, Alan Jonathan, one of our few followers on Twitter, he just liked our tweet, which is the live stream feed. He likes every one of them. He's probably watching right now on Facebook, but that's how I think he knows if we're live. That's what I was saying. I'm going to make sure everybody knows to follow us on there, and I guess anything else we're on, because I post on just about every social media when we're going live and then when we are live. And so maybe if you're not on Facebook for the last hour, but you were on Twitter, then you'll see that we're live and you can come over and watch. So just FYI. Disturbed 10,000 Fist is $31.99. Disturbed 10,000 Fist is $31.99. Gatefold. And Neil Young, Massey Hall, 1971. When I saw this in stock, I went ahead and grabbed it. I was going through Neil Young's catalog because of the new box set I posted for a pre-order of. This is such a great concert. Massey Hall, 1971. That is $38.99. Massey Hall. Oingo Boingo, Alive, $74.99. Oingo Boingo, and this is Boingo Alive. I still can get these. They were very low stock, but this is the blue, red, and purple vinyl, limited to $1,074.99. Twitter followers are just rolling in. It's the amazing power of social media. Okay, Joe Barrios on NY. I think that was for Neil Young, Massey Hall, and Monica on Oingo Boingo. Once again, I've sold out of this. I meant to go ahead and grab several of them, but I'll regret it later. I'll put it that way. Make sure I hadn't missed. Let me make sure I hadn't missed any other comments on there. We have Tenacious D, self-titled, $44.99. Tenacious D, self-titled. That's a 2LP gatefold, $44.99. And the Madcap Laughs, Sid Barrett, $36.99. And there was a short waiting list for this. One person, that was Steve Henry. Steve Henry, Sid Barrett, I have you down, and I have 2 more. So, you know, the story on this album, it's kind of a challenge to find, especially true OGs, and they reissued it a couple times as well, maybe in the 70s and maybe even the 80s, but we don't see those either. Sid Barrett, of course, one of the original members of Pink Floyd. He kind of went crazy, but he did have some solo stuff, $36.99. Motorhead, Overkill is $26.99. Motorhead Overkill is $26.99, and Iron Maiden Brave New World. Iron Maiden Brave New World is $54.99. $54.99. The Black Crowes line. So, pretty much, if you've claimed one anywhere, you have one. So we have exactly 3 extras, and I have 10 more on the way. Again, I've ordered these in 10s 4 different times now. The Black Crowes lines, and that is on pink vinyl, and that is $39.99. Also, we need to check Ken Crooker's ticket. If he doesn't already have an LA Guns, he said he wants one. So we'll make sure you get one. And Chris Kirkley wants a Black Crowes Lines. He was on the pre-order. Okay. Right. Okay, so Ken, you've already got one. Ken, you for sure. I was about to say, I'm pretty sure you was already down there at some way or another. And Chris Kirkley on Lines. The Twitter, the company's Twitter is just CollectCo Live. I think the handle is CollectCo Live. That's our handle on there. So yeah, I haven't had pretty much any posting activity on there in months, except it just automatically posts. It automatically tweets our live stream, so you'll know when we're live. It'll automatically tweet it. And of course, you can turn on notifications there too. But like I said, I need to start sharing pre-orders on there. I think that would be helpful to a lot of people too, or announcements or anything else like that. Now, we have not had this Oingo Boingo yet. This is Oingo Boingo Only a Lad, limited edition 500 on yellow and white vinyl. That is $28.99. Oingo Boingo Only a Lad, $28.99. So I have not had that one yet. It's limited edition 500 on yellow and white vinyl. That is $28.99. $28.99. A Great White Stage is $36.99. Great White Stage, and that's on double red vinyl. That is $36.99 for Great White Stage. And Iron Maiden, The Final Frontier. The Iron Maiden, The Final Frontier. That is $44.99. $44.99 for Iron Maiden, The Final Frontier. And that's a 2LP gatefold, new and sealed. New and sealed. These are all new and sealed. I need to run through that batch one more time. That was a lot of restocks. There was a couple new releases in there. And I'm going to go ahead and get our first Japanese auction started in just a second. Give me 1 second to do that. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay. Make sure I got this shared everywhere. I was making sure I shared it in the group. I'm pretty sure I did. Let me pull our first two Japanese auctions of the night. And let's see here. Let's do this. Make sure I've got, like I said, got this shared everywhere before I continue. All right. And okay, let me go back to the chat here, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, and Tanner, I see that Jerry Stone wanted an Oingo Boingo. How to get off the chat. Was there anybody before Jerry Stone and Pete W on Oingo Boingo? I got Only a Lad. That was Jerry Stone and Pete W. Anybody else before them? Okay, so let me run through that crate. That was our first crate of the night. So we've only been live about 10 minutes. That's the first crate. So if you're just hopping on, you really haven't missed anything. You have not missed anything. Let me run through those one more time. I want to read the pre-order off for the Bon Scott AC/DC Funkos. And to do that, I didn't type those in. I'm going to read them off my phone. My other phone, which I've got to walk across the room here to get. And let me read that off over here. Okay, so here's what's left in that first crate. We had John Lee Hooker, Burning. That was on red vinyl, $36.99. Carnivore, Retaliation, orange clear vinyl, $33.99. Motorhead, 1916, $36.99. Nirvana, Bleach is $28.99. Disturbed, Indestructible, $29.99. Dr. Dre, 2001, $44.99. The Breakfast Club soundtrack, $36.99. Stranger Things, $29.99 on Stranger Things. Joe Diffie's Greatest Natural Hits, $28.99. LA Guns, Hollywood Forever, $29.99. Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny, $33.99. Disturbed, 10,000 Fist was $31.99. Tenacious D Self-Titled, $44.99. And The Madcap Laugh, Sid Barrett, $36.99. The Madcap Laugh, Sid Barrett, $36.99. Motorhead, Overkill, $26.99. Iron Maiden, Brave New World was $54.99. The Black Crowes Lines, I've still got these in stock, $39.99. And then only 3 copies of Oingo Boingo, Only a Lad, $28.99. Now, I don't know if I didn't really show this. Great White's a new release stage. That's on red vinyl. The pre-order for Great White was Krista Moss, Darren Wortman, Chris Crowley, Sherry Darnell, John Ambrosic, Paul Brothers, John Sheehan, Scotty Hypes, Joe Gabriel, and Bill Fratsky. That's Great White Stage, double LP red vinyl, and those are $36.99. We've got 2 left, and then Iron Maiden, The Final Frontier, is $44.99. So there's that there. Let's go ahead and grab our first crate of vintage, which is a Wayne crate. We do have a Wayne crate I think we're going to start the show with. I think that's what Paul's back there working on right now. This is tagged Wayne. Let's see. Let me figure out what we're going to auction out of here. I think we've already pulled most of them. Let's see what we have here. Some nice looking stuff though. So first crate is going to be from Mr. Wayne's collection. I think that's what Paul was working on in the back today. And John. And he's back there working on more right now. So Jeff Bergman wants Great White. We'll pull one of those for Jeff Bergman. So I've already laid up the 2 Japanese auctions there of the night. Let me go ahead and tag Jeff for a Great White. And we're going to show first Don Henley, I Can't Stand Still. His solo album, it's a Japanese promo copy. It has a promo sticker. It's also a white label promo. It is near mint and pristine, and it is a $35 start. This is Don Henley, I Can't Stand Still. The vinyl is near mint, has the original Japanese insert with it, and a very nice cover with Obi, $35 start on that. Also, Madonna, Like a Virgin. We've graded this one EX, so just a couple of small imperfections, keeping it from being a near mint minus pristine Japanese pressing, as I would call it. That's also a $35 start. There's the Japanese insert, and there's the cover with the Obi. So those are $35 start. First 2 auctions of the night. All right, let's see what's in our first crate of new vintage stuff. Robert Plant, Now and Zen. That's EX, $17.99. Looks like it has the original inner sleeve. Robert Plant is $17.99, EX condition. Pink Floyd, a VG copy, $22.99. An original 1987 Carrollton Press, no black border around cover photo. That's VG, $22.99 for Momentary Lapse of Reason. Jackie Reynolds is first on Robert Plant. We have the Magic Lanterns, Shame, Shame. Magic Lanterns is EX, $22.99. No, excuse me, $12.99. Shame, Shame, the Magic Lanterns. That is Magic Lanterns, $12.99. Nate Johnson first on Pink Floyd. Jeff McMaster, you were second. Dave Mason, Alone Together. We have the colored vinyl. This is a promo copy, $44.99. So this is on, I think we had one of these last night in a bin we were going back through. There is the marbled vinyl, and it's actually a promo label as well, $44.99 on Dave Mason, and that is sold very quickly to Jeff McMaster. Jeff, you were first on that one. We also have Aphrodite's Child, 666. This is Good Plus, G Plus, 1974 Presswell Press. Spaceship label, $14.99. Aphrodite's Child, that is on that Vertigo, and that's a G+. That's sold to Scott Jokumstaller. That's sold to Scott Jokumstaller. Colin Butler was second. Fred Carnell, you were second on Robert Plant. That still leaves the Magic Lanterns. John Entwistle, Smash Your Head Against the Wall. That's a VG copy, $12.99 of John Entwistle. And the Rolling Stones, Through the Past Darkly. This is a VG Plus, $22.99. VG Plus, $22.99. A Dutch import, and this may be the selling point. It is on the green vinyl. That is the Rolling Stones. VG Plus, $22.99. Ryan Kelly wants the Magic Lanterns. That's sold to Ryan Kelly. These 2 auctions back here, we're looking for $35 starts. Argent Counterpoints, $16.99. EX condition for Argent Counterpoints. First to the Rolling Stones was Brian Miller. Jeff was second, and Tracy McFadden was third. The Monkees, this is called Missing Links. It's a 1987 unreleased compilation. These are all unreleased tracks by the Monkees. EX condition, $17.99. The cover's in shrink wrap with the informational hop sticker there on it. $17.99 on the Monkeys. Flash in the can with some light nudity. VG Plus, $14.99 on Flash. Michael Golston's first on the Monkeys. And yes, this is from Wayne's collection. This is from Wayne's collection. So Michael Golston got the Monkeys. Fred Carnell wants ML, which was something that's already sold, I think. Okay, Magic Lanterns. Fred, you are a hair behind on the feed. You might want to restart your connection. Stevie Lee first on Flash. Stevie Lee first on Flash. You can't use my name. Rock Folders. That's a VG copy, $24.99. It's a 1983 unofficial. Fillable marks and pressing defects on this one. Fillable marks and... Is that Jimi Hendrix? Who's all on here? It's Jimi Hendrix, I guess. Yeah, it's a... Oh, yeah, it is Jimi Hendrix. It's a Jimi Hendrix unofficial from 1983. VG condition, $24.99. I thought it was some kind of comp at first. That's Jimi Hendrix and the Experience on the front. The Doors is VG Plus, $26.99. Weird Scenes Inside the Gold Mine. Weird Scenes Inside the Gold Mine by The Doors. 2LP gatefold, $26.99 on that. Jake Cecil, first on Jimi Hendrix. Nate Johnson, you were second. Spooky Tooth, The Mirror. VG Plus, $14.99 on Spooky Tooth, The Mirror. VG Plus condition. And another Spooky Tooth, You Broke My Heart, So I Busted Your Jaw. Pleasant title. This is a VG copy for $12.99. So Spooky Tooth and Spooky Tooth. And now some Alice Cooper. This is called Muscle of Love. It's EX condition, just $29.99. It's complete. A 1973 original Terre Haute press. That's sold to Jeff McMaster before I could set it back down. Johnny Winter, White, Hot, and Blue. Johnny Winter is EX $17.99. We have Steppenwolf Slow Flux. Steppenwolf foil cover, EX $17.99. And Pink Floyd. Wow. This is Obscured by Clouds, a VG Plus copy, $39.99. It's a 72 Winchester. Obscured by Clouds, Pink Floyd, VG Plus, $39.99. Jeff was first, Alice Cooper. Alan Jonathan, you were second. Brian C., you were third. Jefferson Airplane, After Bathing at Baxter's, EX $39.99. It's a 67 German import. Wow. 1967 German pressing of Jefferson Airplane, After Bathing at Baxter's, EX $39.99. Shane Devers, first to the Pink Floyd, Obscured by Clouds. Exposed 2, this is a Warner Brothers compilation. A cheap peek at today's provocative new rock. Actually, that's a CBS compilation. And that is a VG Plus $14.99. It has tracks from the Psychedelic Furs. That should sell it by itself. VG Plus $14.99. Moby Grape Wow is a VG copy, $12.99. That's a 68 US press of Moby Grape Wow, Columbia 2i. VG condition, $12.99. And another John Entwistle, Too Late the Hero, with hop sticker. It says with Joe Walsh. That's pretty cool. VG Plus $14.99. Stevie Lee on MG, which is Moby Grape. That's sold to Stevie Lee. Robert Plant, The Principle of Moments. EX condition, $17.99. I'm in the Mood for a Melody and Big Log. Two of his biggest solo hits appears on that album. In shrink wrap, $17.99. Jeff McMaster, first to John Entwistle. I'm assuming you wanted Too Late the Hero, since it was just recently shown. We'll give that to Jeff McMaster and John Smetzer on Robert Plant. Boy, you better be fast tonight. I'm selling stuff before I can even pick it up myself. It's like people are seeing into the future almost. We have The Doors, a VG copy, $24.99. This is a 67 Pittman press. A 67 Pittman press. It has the gold award stamp on the front. VG $24.99. That's sold to Nate Johnson. We have Jefferson Starship, Red Octopus, EX condition, $12.99. Somebody asked for that album the other night, and I was like, any other night, I could go find you 10 copies. Somebody asked for that the other night, and I couldn't put my hands on one. They're usually everywhere. There's a copy of Red Octopus by Jefferson Starship. Farewell to the First Golden Era. This is a Mamas and Papas compilation. VG Plus, $14.99. Monday, Monday, California Dreamin' are the first two songs to give you an idea of the music that's on there. VG Plus, $14.99. And Spooky Tooth, Spooky 2 with Gary Wright, VG $12.99. VG $12.99. And like I said before, if you look up Spooky Tooth on iTunes or Spotify, usually their top 2 streaming songs are Evil Woman and Better By You, Better By Me, which are both Gary Wright tracks, I believe. I know he sings vocals for sure on one of them. VG copy $12.99. Michael Nath on Mamas and Papas. That's sold to Michael Nath. Led Zeppelin 4. We've seen this before. VG Plus $49.99. A 1971 CTH press. So $49.99. VG Plus condition on Led Zeppelin 4. There's the word you want to see in the dead wax. It says Porky. Porky was a mastering, I guess, engineer, and he cut a lot of desirable pressings. So if you ever see Porky in the dead wax, that's actually a person's name, and a lot of his work is pretty desirable. VG Plus, $49.99 on Led Zeppelin 4. Alice Cooper, Killer. VG Plus, $29.99. This is the Burbank label, and it still has the calendar attached. This still has the Alice Cooper calendar attached. VG Plus, $29.99. A classic right here. Thin Lizzy, Jailbreak. VG Plus condition, $32.99. And this is a 1976 Santa Maria press. One of my favorites, $32.99 for Thin Lizzy. Jeff McMaster, first to Alice Cooper. Wesley Stover, You Were Second. Steppenwolf 7 is a VG copy, $11.99 for Steppenwolf 7. And Roadwork, Edgar Winter's White Trash. Also Rick Derringer appears on here. VG copy, $11.99. We've graded it VG. Disc 1 is EX, but Disc 2 is VG. Get some new auctions up there. Thank you. I've kind of totally forgot about these. I was so invested in that crate. Let's make these buy it nows. No bids. These are $35 buy it nows if anybody is interested. Don Henley, I Can't Stand Still, is a $35 buy it now, and that was a promo copy. Has a promo sticker on the front, and Madonna is a $35 buy it now. And if you want these, you can just claim them in the comments like you're buying them. They are now buy it nows. And Bill Fratsky wants Madonna. That's a $35 buy it now. Let's see here. Let me move Don Henley over here. So, man, that has Dirty. This is actually a really good album. If you never listened to that, of course, we probably at all one point or another have heard Dirty Laundry. But the rest of some of the other songs in there are just very good. Paul just brought this up right before I hit the button to go live. He said, you definitely want to auction this. It's from Wayne's collection. It's a really nice copy, and it's probably Hawkwind's most desirable album. And we're going to start it at $65. This is Hawkwind Space Ritual. It's on a lot of people's checklist of albums to get. We don't get them too often. We've graded the vinyl around EX or better. It's a pretty clean copy. We're going to call it EX, though, just to be conservative. We've got it in new anti-statics there. And then here is the real big selling point. It is the original cover. It does have a little bit of nudity, so I'm going to try my best not to show that too much. And so the cover folds open like that, and then it folds open like this. Very nice cover. So better than a VG Plus cover. That's Hawkwind Space Ritual, and that's a $65 start. I think this folds in like this. We'll go ahead and cover her up just in case, even though it's got any sticky on it? It doesn't. I'll just lay it right there. I don't think Facebook will worry too much about that. There's the sticky. The inside has the actual nudity. Hawkwind's a $65 start, and since we're doing one great auction, I'll match it with another one. I haven't had a copy of this in a while. $65 start on Van Halen. This is a mint, pristine Japanese pressing of Van Halen's self-titled debut album. Perfect vinyl, absolutely pristine. Includes the insert and then the cover with Obi. And I'm telling you, I've listened to this. I actually kept one before. I think somebody accidentally bought 2 in 1 week, and then they were putting one back about 2 years ago, and I test played it, and I was like, wow, that's a great sounding record. And of course, one of my favorites. I had this on cassette I bought years ago, and when I first heard this man right here, who's covered up by the Obi, play that guitar, I was like, wow, I need to buy an electric guitar. And then, of course, I got highly disappointed that I couldn't play like Eddie Van Halen overnight, so I kind of stopped playing. $65 starts on those. Back to the crate of incredible vintage stuff. Another great album, Jefferson Airplane, Surlistic Pillow. This is a VG Plus, $14.99. It's a 1969 Rockaway reissue. This originally came out in '67, so this was pressed in '69. It has an inaudible mark on side 2. VG Plus condition, $14.99. White Rabbit. The Last Puff, Spooky Tooth, featuring Mike Harrison. This is a white label promo, VG Plus $19.99 on Spooky Tooth. And another Alice Cooper, Zipper Catches Skin. Alice Cooper is VG Plus $19.99. That's a 1982 Allied press. Let's see if the Alice Cooper streak continues. We've sold every Alice Cooper album I've shown so far tonight. Sly and the Family Stone, there's a Riot Going On. VG Plus $31.99. That's an original 71 Terre Haute. VG Plus $31.99. Condition on Thin Lizzy. Cover and wax. The vinyl is VG Plus, and so is the cover. VG Plus overall. It is a 76 OG Santa Maria, $32.99. $32.99. Paul Brothers is at 65 on Van Halen. Colin Butler wants Riot. Jefferson Airplane is in stereo. We have Three Dog Night, Hard Labor. This is VG Plus $16.99. This is a folder. The folder is mostly attached, yeah. So it does have the file folder. It's mostly attached, but it's still on there. It does have the file folder. It's on the gatefold. VG Plus $16.99. Is Van Halen an 180 gram? No, this is an original Japanese pressing. Now, I don't know the weight of the vinyl. It may be close to, I don't know what the Japanese vinyl is. It's probably 140 gram, but no, this is an original Japanese pressing. 1978 Japanese pressing, Van Halen, or at least close to it. That's not anything new. Hawkwind is also an original. Paul Brothers at 65 on that, so we already have a bid on Van Halen at 65, and Colin Butler's at 65 on Hawkwind. I am like surprised we don't have like 10 bids already on Hawkwind, so Colin's at 65. Steppenwolf, this is their first album. VG Plus $14.99 with the original foil cover. VG Plus $14.99 on Steppenwolf. I had a few fall over here. Let me fix that. Another John Entwistle, Rigor Mortis Sets In. That's EX $17.99. John K. and the Sparrow. John K. of Steppenwolf is EX $24.99. That's a 69 Pittman press. Mama Cass, Bubblegum Lemonade, and Something for Mama. EX $9.99. EX $9.99 on Mama Cass. Edgar Winter Group, they only come out at night. That's a VG copy, $9.99. And The Doors, Morrison Hotel. A VG copy, $26.99. 1970 Terre Haute. Very nice jacket. VG vinyl, $26.99. Arm Lozelle put cassette. I bet he meant Cass, and it auto-corrected to cassette. We'll give that to Arm Lozelle. And another Jefferson Airplane after bathing at Baxter's. This is a 69 press as well. VG, $9.99. Okay, I was about to do a final call on Van Halen, but we have new bids on both of them. Arm Lozelle's at 70 on Hawkwind. So Arm Lozelle has Hawkwind at 70, and Mark Querum's at 70 on Van Halen. Let me very quickly read through those titles one more time. Let me read through those one more time. We got two great auctions up. We have our first crate of vintage, and Paul's bringing up more vintage. Fantastic. Johnny Winter does have Frankenstein on it, yes, and Slow Ride, or Free Ride. John Entwistle, Smash Your Head Against the Wall. Argent, Counterpoints. The Doors, Weird Scenes Inside the Gold Mine. Spooky Tooth, The Mirror. Spooky Tooth, You Broke My Heart. Johnny Winter, White Hot and Blue. Steppenwolf, Slow Flux. Jefferson Airplane, After Bathing at Baxter's. Exposed 2. Jefferson Starship, Red Octopus. Spooky Tooth, Spooky 2. Led Zeppelin 4. Steppenwolf 7. Johnny Winter, Edgar Winter's White Trash. Jefferson Airplane, Spooky Tooth again. Wow, we got 5 Spooky Tooth albums in here. Alice Cooper. Thin Lizzy's still available, surprisingly. Three Dog Night. A classic Steppenwolf album. Another John Entwistle. Another kind of Steppenwolf album, John K. Edgar Winter is sold to Jeff Bergman. John Smetzer wants Jefferson Airplane Surlistic Pillow. We have The Doors is still available, Morrison Hotel, and Jefferson Airplane After Bathing at Baxter's, a U.S. press. Hawkwind, overall the vinyl is EX. So overall the vinyl's EX on Hawkwind. The cover is a very, very nice VG Plus or better. I mean, we had some albums from the late 80s last night, and their jacket wasn't as nice as this. So, yeah, that's Hawkwind. High bid on that is $70, Jeff McMaster. We pulled Edgar Winter, we pulled Jefferson Airplane, and we have Van Halen's at 75. Thank you, Paul. We'll see. Mark Quarum's at 75 on Van Halen. Okay, so 75 on Van Halen. Paul, you're out, and Hawk wins at 70 with Mark Quarum. Mark Quarum's at $70. No, who was that? Arm Lazelle. Arm Lazelle is the high bidder on Hawkwind at 70. Collins at 71. Okay, let me set this off to the side. If you decide you want anything else in there, just let me know. Let's go right into another Wayne crate that, wow, that's a nice looking Black Sabbath. Let's go right into another Wayne crate that Paul just literally sat next to me. He dropped off a crate. And I'm doing a quick flip. Wow, it's another, yeah, I could, you could drop me in the middle of the desert and I could run across this crate and I could be like, yep, this is definitely Wayne Titsworth's collection. Def Leppard? Okay, we can hook you up with some Def Leppard. All right, looking for Def Leppard. I'll put something up for auction right here. Paul's back. He's going to price more records. Colin Butler's at 71 on Hawkwind. Who's on Exposed? Yes, maybe Craig. Craig just posted the track listing. Thank you, Craig. Craig just posted the track listing for Exposed. Thank you. I didn't want to read all those off. It's a lot. So Craig just posted that in the Facebook chat. Thank you, Craig. Van Halen 75, Hawkwind 71, Hawkwind 73, Van Halen 80, Hawkwind 72, Spooky Tooth 2 details again. Spooky Tooth 2. I think that was the one that was VG, right? Spooky Tooth 2 was a VG copy, $12.99. About a VG Plus cover. Okay, let's see what we have here. New vintage arrivals from Wayne Titsworth's collection. Wow! Exclamation point. What a way to start us off there, Paul. Pablo Cruz out of, wow, we don't see that one too often. I'm kind of, oh, wow. Yeah, I'm going to take a drink of water on that one. Holy moly. Wow. Oh my gosh, that's out of our hands. It is out of my hands. It's going to Jeff McMaster's hands. We'll forget that even happened and we'll just move on. That is sold to Jeff McMaster. Stacy said she'll take the Exposed 2 comp. Stacy had asked about that first, and we'll go ahead and give the Exposed 2 comp to Stacy. Stacy Metternich is our #1 compilation buyer. Thank you, Stacy Metternich. She has bought every week from us for years. She has a continuous streak of invoices. We need to give you some kind of a plaque or something. We need to have you up here to Tennessee and do some kind of special presentation. Okay, Van Halen is at 80 and Hawkwind is at 73. Jeff McMaster has Hawkwind for 73. Van Halen's at 80. Let me make sure I don't miss anything else. Sorry for the Pablo interruption. And let's see here. Any Van Halen balance sightings? We had one earlier this year we sold at auction. Haven't seen one since. We get about one a year. We get about one Van Halen balance a year. So check back next year. Frank Zappa. Zappa in New York. That's $34.99. This is the censored version. It has a gold stamp promo on the back or on the front. $34.99 on Frank Zappa. And that's Frank Zappa in New York. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. That is $34.99. All records are beautiful with the book. It's a Pittman Press. Just $34.99 on the Bruce Springsteen box set. $34.99. Pink Floyd is $49.99. This is a 1973 UK quad transition copy. It has heavy water damage on the cover. Inside of the gatefold, the vinyl is beautiful. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just had sold this to him not too long ago because he collects quad pressings. The vinyl is near mint. It was very, very nice. We test played it. It is a quad pressing, but the jacket does have some pretty significant water damage, as you can see. And that's $49.99. Pink Floyd, and that's sold to Christopher Brusha. That's sold to Christopher. We have Tin Machine 2. Tin Machine 2 is $29.99. That's a music on vinyl, limited in number to 5,000 on clear, turquoise, and mixed colored vinyl. $29.99. And Mad Dog, John Entwistle's Ox, $19.99 for Mad Dog. Another John Entwistle, $19.99. John Lill on Tin Machine. That's sold to John Lill. And we have British Lines. That's $19.99. British Lines is $19.99. That's a very clean copy. Vertigo. All right, make sure I hadn't missed anything in the comments. I feel like I'm not in sync yet with all of our comment rhythm. Craig Proper's at 85 on Van Halen. Craig Proper's at 85 on Van Halen. Hawkwind is 74 with Arm Lazelle. Hawkwind's at 75. Christopher got Pink Floyd. John Lill got Tin Machine. When's the last time you had a copy of Unlawful Carnal Knowledge? That's been about 2 years ago, probably. Or no, that's been a year ago. About a year ago. Some of those rare Van Halen albums, for every 100,000 records we purchase, we might get one rare Van Halen album. That's why they're rare. Jimi Hendrix, Are You Experienced, is $24.99. That is the remaster pressed at QRP near mint. That is $24.99. Darren Wortman on British Lines. That's sold to Darren Wortman. And Coven, Blood on the Snow. That is sealed. Orange vinyl, limited to 300 copies. $36.99. Coven, Blood on the Snow. Orange pumpkin pressing, limited to 300 copies. $36.99. Van Halen, Women and Children First. That's also sealed. A 2015 remaster. $26.99. And The Doors' Greatest Hits is $34.99. The Doors' Greatest Hits, $34.99. Carol Puckett says, I believe you missed me. Price on British Lines. British Lines is $19.99, and no, it's not a comp. What happened to it? Did I tag that for somebody? What happened here, Tanner? Carol asked the price. It's $19.99. And Carol, if you don't want it, it's sold to Darren Wortman. Okay, John Miller wants The Doors, and Fred Carnell wants Coven. Those are all sold and sold. Yeah, Van Halen Balance, very tough to find. We had one we auctioned, like I said, a few months back. When we get them, we'll advertise that we have them. That and Van Halen 3 and all the others, we'll auction them. They'll be gone within about 24 hours, and then it'll be another year before we sell them again. The Doors was not check condition. No, it was near mint. Sometimes I'll say that, and then the next week we get another one, but those are very rare albums. We don't get those too often. Brian Segas to Frank Zappa. I need to do a final call on some auctions. I feel like we're back and forth between two people on both of them. Craig Proper has Van Halen for $85. That's a final call. Van Halen, Japanese pressing. It is mint. I cannot speak more highly of how great it sounds either. Jeff McMaster's at $75 on Hawkwind, and now that's a final call. So what's left in the crate so far is the Bruce Springsteen box, John Entwistle, and then Jimi Hendrix and Van Halen are 180 gram pressings. Jimi Hendrix is near mint, it's open, and Van Halen was sealed. Eager to Please, Ken Hensley, $14.99. Eager to Please, Ken Hensley, $14.99. Bob Dylan, Street Legal, that's a 78 Terre Haute, $24.99 on Bob Dylan Street Legal. And Frank Zappa, Shut Up and Play Your Guitar, 3 LP box, EX condition, $54.99. That's a 1981 Dutch import, includes all 3 original inner sleeves. Frank Zappa is $54.99. Shut Up and Play Your Guitar. Jefferson Airplane, Takes Off. That's a late 70s reissue. It has a gold stamp promo on the back. No condition note, $16.99 on Jefferson Airplane. The Mamas and Papas, $19.99. This is actually a really cool cover. It opens up like this. $19.99 on the Mamas and Papas. ABC Dunhill, OG, $19.99 on that. And we have Tobacco Road, Spooky Tooth, $19.99. Tobacco Road, Spooky Tooth. This is $19.99. Very clean vinyl. A&M. That is $19.99. Ryan Kelly on the Mamas and Papas, and James Bragg on Jefferson Airplane. Arm Lazelle, you were second on Mamas and Papas. Okay, these are all done. We have Van Halen sold to Craig Proper for $85, and Hawkwind is sold to Jeff McMaster for $75. I don't think many people set out on those, unless I just wasn't seeing it. Those are sold for $85 and $75. $85 for Van Halen, Craig Proper, and Jeff McMaster got Hawkwind for $75. We have Def Leppard, Pyromania. Somebody just asked, could we put up some Def Leppard? Here is an OG copy of Pyromania in shrink wrap, and it's near mint. Near mint in shrink wrap, and that's a $35 start. And this is actually a club pressing. Let me rephrase that. That's a CRC pressing. It is in shrink wrap. It's near mint. That's a $35 start for Def Leppard Pyromania. Let me put Spooky Tooth away. And let me grab another Japanese pressing. Billy Joel, The Stranger. We have this graded as EX minus. EX minus on Billy Joel, The Stranger. And it is EX minus because it has a scuff right here on side B. And side A pretty much has no marks. Maybe one little hairline right here. That's why we're only going to start this one at a $25 start. So Billy Joel, The Stranger, his classic album. Japanese quality on the vinyl. Has the original insert. That's a $25 start on that. Def Leppard's at $35 with Baseball, and Billy Joel's a $25 start. Edgar Winter Group Shock Treatment, $19.99. Edgar Winter Group Shock Treatment, that's in partial shrink wrap. It's in mostly shrink wrap. $19.99. Orange Epic label, very clean. Rick Derringer Live, that is a white label promo, also a gold stamp promo on the back. White label promo, Rick Derringer, $16.99. John Kay, All in Good Time. John Kay is $16.99, All in Good Time. And Early Steppenwolf. Lots of John Kay and Steppenwolf tonight. This is recorded live at the Matrix, 1967 in San Francisco, $19.99 on Early Steppenwolf Live. Bob Dylan Infidels is a 1983 Carrollton press, $29.99 on Dylan. And The Doors, absolutely live. I couldn't say it fast enough. No ring wear on the cover. Wow. It's a 1983 press, $24.99. But I've hardly ever see, even though that's kind of a later reissue, no ring wear on the cover, $24.99 on The Doors, absolutely live. Jimi Hendrix Smash Hits, that's the Walmart purple vinyl exclusive. That is sealed. It's never been opened. $24.99 on Jimi Hendrix. And Jefferson Airplane, Bless Its Pointed Little Head, $19.99. Okay, final call on Def Leppard, $35, going twice, going three times, and no bids on Billy Joel, going twice, going three times if you want to bid before I make it a buy it now. Another Frank Zappa, this is Zappa Thingfish. That's VG Plus condition, $54.99. Original 1984 press with all three original inner sleeves. That's VG Plus, $54.99. The Hello People, EX condition, $12.99. On the Hello People, EX, $12.99. Brian C. first on the Frank Zappa. That's sold to Brian C. Tommy Two-Tone, VG and about a VG or VG minus cover, $9.99. Of course, that has the hit song Genie, 8675. Hawkwind is Victim of Sonic Attack. This actually comes in this like tote bag. It's actually, well, I wouldn't call it a tote bag. It's a... what happened to the sticky note on this? I thought he had this marked. Actually, it may have fell off. Or maybe, let's see if he put it on something on the cover. Oh, here it is. $74.99. So this Hawkwind is $74.99. London, December 30th, 1972. Number 121 of 500. It's on clear vinyl. Mark beginning of... there's a mark on the beginning of side C. It is barely audible. Actually, he just... brought it up here and test played it. Hawkwind is $74.99. So it's hand numbered. It also includes this lithograph, 121 of 500. It's a Gatefold 2LP, and that's a live Hawkwind, and that was $74.99. I'm going to leave that outside of the bag and leave that right over there for right now. We have, let's see, Wesley Stover on Tommy Two-Tone. That's sold to Wesley Stover. And we have one more here. One more Frank Zappa, 200 Motels. That's EX, $79.99. That's a 71 Terre Haute with booklet and poster. This has the booklet and poster. EX condition, $79.99 on Frank Zappa's 200 Motels. All right, let's go ahead and sell Def Leppard. One and only bid to base 29 ball. I don't know if I think I've seen you on, but if you hadn't bought from us before, please make sure you message our page. Actually, you're on YouTube, so we need you to fill out a form on our website. We'll share the link with you right now. If you're a first-time buyer, thank you and welcome. And to anybody else watching, very easy to buy from us. You got this for $35. We'll send you an invoice on Monday. But in the meantime, tonight and also Friday and Saturday, $7 unlimited shipping. $7 unlimited shipping, as much as you want to buy. So that's yours, and you can continue to add to your order. If anybody wants Billy Joel, it's a $25 buy it now for this EX or EX minus copy of the Stranger. $25 buy it now on that. All right, and I've got a couple more records left in this crate before I go back through them, and then I'll put up a couple new Japanese auctions in just a second. Hawkwind. Dori Mi Faso Latido. This is $44.99. 1972 US stereo. That's Tyler Sloan. $44.99. Hawkwind is $44.99. That's sold to Jeff McMaster. Actually, let me lay Pyromania Tanner in the auction pile right there on top of Van Halen. And Hawkwind is sold to Jeff McMaster. James Bragg was second. All right, let me run through that crate one more time. Yeah, the stuff that was on the hot picture, let me figure out what crate Paul put that in. I will start trying to find some of that. I think this next crate, John priced, looks like it, and then we'll figure out where the rest of that is. But yeah, let me run through these one more time. This is a great price on the Bruce Springsteen box, $34.99. 5 LPs with booklet is near mint. Paul Jackson wants the Billy Joel. That's a $25 buy it now on the Billy Joel to Paul Jackson. Let me show this Hawkwind one more time because I want to put it away before it gets damaged. So Bruce Springsteen was $34.99. Hawkwind, there's Lemmy, $74.99. It's numbered 121 to 500. Clear vinyl. It's a live show from December 30th, 1972. It's a 2 LP gatefold with that numbered lithograph, and it comes in this bag. It's like a cloth bag, and it slides right in there. And it actually has, I guess technically that's the front. Victim of Sonic Attack is the name of the album. Victim of Sonic Attack. There's the date, and then there's the track listing. So this is like a protective sleeve, and that's $74.99 on Hawkwind. Okay, so Bruce Springsteen, John Entwistle's Mad Ox, Jimi Hendrix, Are You Experienced, Van Halen, Women and Children First, Ken Hensley, Eager to Please, Bob Dylan, Street Legal, Frank Zappa, Shut Up and Play Your Guitar, Tobacco Road, Spooky Tooth, Edgar Winter Group, Shock Treatment, Rick Derringer Live, John Kay, Steppenwolf, Bob Dylan, The Doors, Absolutely Live, a really nice copy, Smash Hits, Walmart, Purple Vinyl, that was sealed, Jefferson Airplane, The Hello People, and pretty much one of the few Zappa albums left tonight, the 200 Motels soundtrack. I'm going to step right over here and turn on the air conditioning. As usual, 77 degrees. I like it where it's like icicles being shot out of the vents at me. Right, Tanner? Tanner does it. Tanner and Seth likes it about 79 degrees. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. This is Glorious Results of a Misspent Youth, now up for auction. This has the original inner sleeve. The vinyl is near mint and pristine. $25 start. Very nice copy. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. It is a club pressing. First track is Cherry Bomb. Glorious Results of a Misspent Youth. Very nice copy. Near mint and a very nice cover as well. $25 start on that. $25 start on that. Let me show you our newest Funko. They finally have arrived. Bon Scott, the original lead singer from AC/DC. Those are in. I think I have 5 to sell. I have 5 to sell. This is the Bon Scott Funko. They're $14.99. If you want one, just comment like you're buying anything else. This will ship with your record order, or if you just buy this by itself, we can ship this to you if that's the only thing you buy for the week. But here's the pre-order. Let me read off everybody that's already got one. Let's see here. We have Jerry Lee got one, Brandon Jackson, Sherry Darnell, Shepard Michael, John Sheehan, Kenny Heathcock, Chris Gleason, Jeff McAnally got 2, Jamie Sperlin, Eddie Passeur, and actually, Eddie, I had your name down twice. Eddie, you commented 2 weeks ago, and then I had you 14 hours ago. So I have Eddie down for a couple extra, and then John Sheehan. He commented twice too. My bad. Some people commented twice where it would been up for so long it probably popped back up on their timeline because I originally posted that back on May 3rd. So yeah, some of these things you just never know when they're going to come in. That's a new Funko that was just released. Jeff Bergman wants one. So a couple, I hadn't typed in these names yet, Tanner, but a couple of those people were on there twice, Eddie Passir and John Sheehan. So Jeff Bergman, and I think I have, let's see, I ordered 16, so I should have 4 or 5 left approximately on that. Price on Spooky Tooth. The Tobacco Road is $19.99, and it's a very clean copy. $19.99. I also will take those puzzles in right now. I'll take those as well. I've had a whole stack of Funkos, puzzles, collectibles, and all kinds of stuff like that I've been meaning to show, but I figured I would save it for tonight. Thursday night's usually when we show off our newest stuff. Wow, no bid yet on Joan Jett, $25 start. We have an original. This is from Wayne's collection. I think he bought this from us maybe at auction. This is a very nice copy of Led Zeppelin, Houses of the Holy. We're going to grade it about EX. It is a RL. It does have RL in the dead wax, sterling. It's a 73 press well. I think I'm going to grade it about EX condition. Just has a couple stray marks on it. And we're going to start that at $45. That's a Led Zeppelin, House of the Holy. That is a 73 press. $45 start on that. Darren Wortman wants a Bon Scott Funko. Joan Jett's at $25 with Michael Nath. And Michael Nath was, actually, Ben, you bid $24. Michael Nath bid $25, and Ben, you were second. Okay, so technically Michael Nath is in first at $25. And Darren Myers at $45 on Zeppelin. There's Bon Scott if anybody decides you want one of those tonight. Let me see what else we got over here in this bin. I think we got a nice copy of a Van Morrison album here. Let me flip through this. I think this is some new vintage arrivals. Let's see what we have here. Oh, yeah, interesting titles in here. For sure. All right, let me see what else we got in here. Hadn't seen that in a while. That's a very nice copy. Wow. I didn't know we had all these Van Morrisons. It looks like they got into some stuff from the that Bowling Green collection I hadn't seen. There was a few things from that Bowling Green collection I hadn't seen in a long time. I think this is some of it right here. So, all right, let's see what we have in here. Okay, Joan Jett. So Ben's at 30 on Joan Jett. Led Zeppelin 45 and now 60. All right. So first record we have Chic Your Booty, Frank Zappa, $39.99. Chic Your Booty, $39.99 on Frank Zappa. Blue Oyster Cult, Agents of Fortune, has a gold stamp promo on the back. BOC, Agents of Fortune, $24.99. Don't Fear the Reaper. Def Leppard, On Through the Night, $64.99. $64.99. Very clean vinyl, nice jacket, $64.99 on Through the Night. Jimmy Cliff Special. Jimmy Cliff is $24.99. B.B. King, Live at the Regal, a 1967 press. B.B. King, super clean, ABC Records, $49.99. Dylan Weishaupt, first to Jimmy Cliff. Crowded House, $34.99. This has their hit single, Don't Dream It's Over, near mint with an original inner sleeve, $34.99. This is Upside Down. It's $24.99. It's Deep Ear, which is that another compilation? I think it is. Yeah, that's another compilation from Warner Brothers, $24.99. On this side, I see Bonnie Raitt and John Hartford and Wet Willie, all kinds of different people on that. Jeff McMaster, you were second on Jimmy Cliff. Cameron Martin, first to Crowded House. And Brent Robley on Deep Ear. Those three are all sold. We have Otis Redding and Jimi Hendrix, Monterey Pop Festival, $39.99. Super clean copy. That's one side is Jimi Hendrix and one side is Otis Redding, both live at Monterey Pop, $39.99. The Modern Jazz Quartet, the legendary profile, $19.99 for Modern Jazz Quartet. John Mayall, Looking Back. John Mayall is $29.99. John Mayall, Looking Back, $29.99. Blue London label. 10 Years of Harmony, the Beach Boys, in shrink wrap with hop sticker, $29.99. 2LP, $29.99. And the Beach Boys, California Dreamin', is $14.99. Redbeard's KXTQ Dallas, number 2, most requested. California Dreamin', that's a 12-inch single. The Beach Boys, that is $14.99. Okay. Let's see here. So Joan Jett, we had 25, 25. We had 45 on Led Zeppelin, 30 on Joan Jett, and the Joan Jett album is Glorious Results of a Misspent Youth, near mint, cover and vinyl, club copy. Ben was at 30. Led Zeppelin is a 73 OG, House of the Holy. Dave Plunkett was at 48. Then we had a $60 bid. We've already pulled Jimmy Cliff and Jimmy Cliff again. We pulled Crowded House. Michael Knauth's out on Joe Jett. Brent Robley got Deep Ear. Dave Plunkett's at 65 on Led Zeppelin. And James Bragg wants Hawkwind. I think he may have, I'll make sure he actually wants it. This is Hawkwind, Victim of a Sonic Attack, $74.99. It includes this bag, and that is $74.99 James Bragg. Jimi Hendrix and Otis, Michael Knauth, that was no condition notes on the vinyl. It is actually really clean, which is unusual for this record. Very clean, which is unusual for that one. Usually kind of beat up. So Led Zeppelin's a final call for $65, and Joan Jett's a final call for $30. 65 and 30. Joan Jett's at 32. The Moody Blues, Go Now. Moody Blues is $24.99 for Go Now. The Beach Boys' Light album is a white label promo, $19.99. Michael Knauth wants the Otis Redding. John Leals at 68 on Led Zeppelin. 25 years of good vibrations. The Beach Boys' Sunkissed, some kind of promo, $24.99. With tour booklet, $34.99. I claimed it from the start. Oh, my bad. So James Bragg gets the Hawkwind. So James Bragg does want the Hawkwind. I must have either missed your comment or it came at the wrong time. There's the Bon Scott Funko again, $14.99. ABBA Arrival with Hop Sticker, Dancing Queen, has a promo strip on the front, and it's a promo copy. ABBA Arrival, original inner sleeve as well, is a white label promo. Or, actually, it's not a white label promo. Is it marked promo anywhere? I don't see any promo markings on the label, but white label promo. This is not a white label promo, unless the other side's white. Maybe John went colorblind today. No, I don't think that's white. But say, looks like a standard label. It does have all the promo markings on it, though. $29.99. Dire Straits' Walk of Life, 12-inch single. It's a 1985 UK. It also has Two Young Lovers live and Sultans of Swing live, $16.99. So Joan Jett, 32. Led Zeppelin, 68. Joan Jett, 35. Joan Jett, 36. So Led Zeppelin's now at 68. King Crimson is a 69 RCA Music Club press, $74.99, and it is beautiful. $74.99 in the Court of the Crimson King, $74.99. Rob Sheffler on Dire Straits. Harry Hisner, Darren Wortman. Yes, we have them down. We have a lot of people who claimed them. We have multiples of these. So I'm just keeping an extra one. We have Darren Wortman and several other people as well. While I have it over here on my screen, we have these in the back, and we have to follow. We actually got a high importance email, if y'all can see what that is. I don't know if it's blurry like it looks like on my monitor. That is Taylor Swift's new album that comes out officially at midnight. It's Speak Now, Taylor's version. We're under strict embargo. We cannot show those, nor can we sell them. Well, of course, we pre-sold them. We have them here. But just so everybody knows, if you want one, we do have some extras. You can officially stream and listen to that at midnight, but of course we can't sell them early. Everything else they're pretty lenient on, but this stuff right here, when I say this stuff, Taylor Swift, they're like, you cannot pre-sell it before Friday. They're $49.99. $49.99. And of course, I've already seen some people selling them and putting them out in the bins, but their label is like, you cannot sell these early, or it could affect your status as a store, as in you could be banned. So they're very strict about Taylor Swift. We have them. If you pre-ordered them, we have one for everybody. If you want to claim one right now, that's absolutely fine. Of course, most of y'all won't get it until next week anyway when you buy it and we ship it to you. If you're local, of course, pickups are ready on Monday. I'm going to put a couple out here in the store and let everybody know we have them here, but you can't get it until we open tomorrow if you want to come local. So $49.99. Jeff McMaster wants one. So basically we have them. If you want one, they're here. We have a whole crate of them in the back. So most of them are already sold. I think I've got 7 or 8 extras, and they'll be gone by tomorrow. Okay, back up to the top. Joan Jett was at 36. Rob Scheffler got the Dire Straits. I've already pulled that. Brian Tyler, You Were Second. And Jeff and Brent want a Taylor Swift. This is Stand, Sly and the Family Stone. This looks like a very nice copy. Stand, Sly and the Family Stone, $39.99. I cannot show the product to customers. Yeah, you're not supposed to. Of course, we show stuff. We show stuff live, but nobody, or we show stuff before street dates, but the customers don't have it. I mean, we'll show stuff that comes out on Friday, on Tuesday, but y'all don't actually get it in your hands until Monday, even if you're local, or when it ships to you next week. So we can pre-sell stuff, but you can't get a new release technically until Friday. And I definitely don't want to be banned, so nobody's getting a Taylor Swift early. I'm sure her lawyers are all over the internet right now looking for somebody that has those out early. ABBA, the singles, white label promo, $34.99. She's only making $17 million a night every time she does a concert, so I don't know the big importance of that, but I kind of understand it. They don't want anybody getting it early. ABBA, the singles, is a white label promo, $34.99. ABBA, the singles, white label promo, $34.99. That is definitely a white label promo. Jeff McMaster wants Sly on the Family Stone. I'm going to do some final calls on Led Zeppelin. John Leal has it at $68. That's an EX copy, $68. John Leal, final call. Joan Jett is at $36 with Fred Carnell, final call. Def Leppard is $64.99 on through the night. We just sold a copy of Pyromania at auction. That's $64.99. Tammy Faye, Enough is Enough, $9.99 for Tammy Faye. Days of Future Past, The Moody Blues, $19.99. The Days of Future Past, Moody Blues, $19.99. The Hollies, Distant Light, that's in shrink wrap, $19.99. It's a little bit later reissue, but it's a perfect copy in shrink wrap. Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress is on that one. Golden Earring Switch. Golden Earring is $19.99 for Switch, if I can get that up here. And we have Bruce Springsteen, Nebraska, $19.99 for Bruce Springsteen, Nebraska. The Butterfield Blues Band live, $29.99. The Butterfield Blues Band live, $29.99. All right, let's sell these auctions. John Leal gets Led Zeppelin for $68, and Fred Carnell gets the Joan Jett for $36. Those are both sold. Def Leppard is how much condition? Def Leppard is near mint on the vinyl and a very nice cover, VG Plus to be exact, $64.99. $64.99 on through the night. Roomful of Blues, Hot Little Mama, $14.99. Roomful of Blues, Hot Little Mama, $14.99. Rosington Collins Band, Anytime, Anyplace, Anywhere, $24.99. Blackfoot, Vertical Smiles. Blackfoot is $19.99. I've never seen that one before. Blackfoot, Vertical Smiles, $19.99. Boiled in Lead, Hotheads, $14.99. And we have Gordon Lightfoot, East of Midnight. Gordon Lightfoot, East of Midnight. Don't see that one too often. $19.99. All right, this was over here in one of the bins. We don't have any condition notes on it. Paul put this out. This looks like a really nice copy. This is a 1970 Pittman green label Black Sabbath self-titled. $85 start. Green label Black Sabbath. Very tough to find these now. Super clean vinyl. Black Sabbath's debut. This is about EX Plus to Near Mint Minus. It's right on the borderline between EX Plus and Near Mint Minus. 1970 Green Warner Brothers Pittman. $85 start. A classic. $85 start on that. This is a non-gatefold. This album originally, of course, came out 69. This is a 1970. Jeff McMaster on Hot, which was Hot Little Mama, Roomful of Blues. That's sold to Jeff McMaster. Jimmy Ball on Gordon Lightfoot. And Craig, I'm not taking offers on anything right now, but I'm not saying I won't later. But right now, everything is sticker price. DC Star, Living in a Rock and Roll Whirl. That's $19.99. $19.99. And Thomas Dolby, Blinded by Science. Thomas Dolby is $19.99. Blinded by Science. Jeff McMaster wanted Hot Heads, not Hot Little Mama. All right, let me fix that one. He wants this one right here. So that's sold to Jeff. And then, of course, there's Jimmy's Gordon Lightfoot. Jimmy Balls at $85 on Black Sabbath. ELO on the Third Day. $19.99 on Electric Light Orchestra. And Divinals, Desperate. Divinals is $24.99. Gold stamp promo. Gold stamp promo. Van Morrison, Moondance. Let's see what we have here with Van Morrison, Moondance. This looks like a very nice copy. $45 start. We got 3 very nice Van Morrison albums over here. Look at this beautiful gatefold of Van Morrison, Moondance. Very nice jacket as well. The vinyl this is super nice, and this is, I don't know which collection this came from, but very nice. That's a $45 start, and that is very nice. Almost no signs of wear on the cover. That is a $45 start. Jimmy Ball on the Divinyls. That's so to Jimmy Ball, and Fred Carnell wants the DC Star. Any word on when the Melancholies are coming in? Those are already in. Those are all in, and everybody got one. That is not a W7. That is just a standard green label. You make it look easy. Duke Jupiter, $9.99, gold stamp promo, and Bob Dylan is $34.99. Bob Dylan, and this is the, I guess technically the 3rd label for this album. It is absolutely near mint though. Bob Dylan self-titled, $34.99. And the best of the doobies is $14.99. Van Morrison tracks. Every one of them is good. That's all you need to know on Van Morrison. Every one of them is good. Little River Band, Time Exposure. That's in shrink wrap of hop sticker, $12.99. Little River Band, Time Exposure, $12.99. Van Morrison is one of those albums you can put it on from beginning to end, and it doesn't really, I mean, it's just a classic. Final call on Black Sabbath, $85, and Van Morrison is a $45 start. We have Chic Your Booty, $39.99. Chic Your Booty, Frank Zappa. We still have Blue Oyster Cult, Agents of Fortune, B.B. King live at the Regal, Modern Jazz Quartet, John Mayall, Looking Back, Beach Boys, 10 Years of Harmony, the Beach Boys, California Dreamin', the Moody Blues, Go Now, the Beach Boys Light Album, the Beach Boys 25th Anniversary from Sunkissed, ABBA Arrival, that was promo marked, King Crimson, ABBA The Singles, Tammy Faye, Moody Blues, Days of Future Past, The Hollies, Distant Light, Golden Earring Switch, Bruce Springsteen, Nebraska, the Butterfield Blues Band, Def Leppard, On Through the Night, Rossington Collins Band, Blackfoot, Thomas Dolby, Roomful of Blues, Hot Little Mama, ELO, Duke Jupiter, Bob Dylan, Best of the Doobies, and Little River Band. I would say, I would do my normal, I can't believe this didn't sell, but that would pretty much be half of the crate. So new bid on Black Sabbath, Shane Devers is at $86. And final call, if you want to bid in on Van Morrison, it's a $45 start. Chris Gleason wants the Duke Jupiter. Chris DiLorenzo wants a Melancholy. Let's put down his name. I may have one left. I think I have sold all of those though, but I think I might have one left. Chris, I will put your name down. Chris DiLorenzo. Chris Gleason got Duke Jupiter. Black Sabbath at 87, now 85. When I come back, I'm going to make Van Morrison a buy it now. And you probably should have already bid on it, because if you miss out on this copy, you're going to regret it in the morning. You're going to be like, I should have bid on that as soon as Chad laid it up there. This is one of the greatest albums of all time, and I didn't even bid on it. And now I'm regretting it. And now I'm going to have a terrible Friday, because I'm going to think about all day how I missed out on this near mint and pristine Van Morrison Moondance. Right, Tanner? Tanner said yep. Okay, Black Sabbath's now at 89 with Jimmy Ball. Van Morrison is a $45 buy it now. And actually, as soon as I said that, we get 2 bids. Jeff McMaster and John Smitzer. We'll let that roll now. So Jeff McMaster is in first at 45. We have a few new puzzles. These are all $24.99. Elton John, Captain Fantastic, Metallica, Kill 'Em All, and Pink Floyd, Pulse. I got 10 new puzzles, a few we've never had before. New puzzles. Elton John, Captain Fantastic, Metallica, Kill 'Em All, and Pink Floyd, Pulse. Jeff McMaster wants the Elton John, Captain Fantastic. That's so did Jeff McMaster. So there's Metallica, and there's Pink Floyd. I've also got Pink Floyd, Delicate Sound of Thunder. That's a cool puzzle. So is Pulse. And this is really cool here. Hawkwind Space Ritual, 500-piece puzzle, $24.99. And Iron Maiden, The Trooper. Iron Maiden, The Trooper. These are all 500-piece UK puzzles, $24.99. I hope Jerry Stone is watching. There's a couple there I've never had before. Pink Floyd, The Division Bell. King Diamond, Abigail. Megadeth, Peace Sells. And here's some more nudity. Nirvana, Nevermind, $24.99. Those are all 500-piece puzzles. The reason I ordered these is because they're really good titles, and I also believe I can still get maybe 1 or 2 extras of some of these before they're gone. So back up to the top, Black Sabbath was 87, Black Sabbath 88, Black Sabbath 89, Van Morrison 45, Van Morrison 45, Black Sabbath 90, Van Morrison 46, Black Sabbath 91, Black Sabbath 47. Jeff McMaster got the Elton John puzzle, Black Sabbath 95. James Bragg wants Hawkwind and Kill 'Em All puzzles. There's Kill 'Em All, and there's Hawkwind to James Bragg. Dan Benedict wants The Trooper. That's so to Dan Benedict. James Bragg also wants Peace Sells, but Who's Buying? That's so to James Bragg. Kelly Cook wants King Diamond. Abigail, that's so to Kelly Cook. We have 47 on Van Morrison. Brandon Jackson, I'll put your name down for a King Diamond because I can get more of those. Van Morrison's at 48 and Black Sabbath is at 96. We have Nirvana, Nevermind, Pink Floyd, Delicate Sound of Thunder, Pink Floyd, Pulse, and Pink Floyd, The Division Bell. That's which one is left there. Give me 1 second and I will show the Black Sabbath label. We've had 4 or 5 people ask, it looks like. That's what's left. Delicate Sound of Thunder, Division Bell, and Pulse. Nobody got the Pink Floyds and Nevermind. Sean Druin wants a King Diamond Abigail puzzle as well. We'll add him to the waiting list. Those are all $24.99 if anybody wants one. Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath is a 1970. So it is the original label. It's not a first press. It's the original label, but it's not a first press. That's the label you want to see. But just because you see a green label doesn't mean it's actually a first press. This is a prime example. It is a very clean copy. I've graded it about EX+, very close to near mint minus. And this is Black Sabbath. There's the jacket. It's a non-gatefold, very nice. High bid on that is at 97 and now 98. Van Morrison Moondance. Van Morrison Moondance is, once again, so this label, this first press came out on a 7 Arts label. It looks just like this, but at the top it has a W7. And that's the true first pressings of that. This is still the very desirable label. That's the OG label for this, or I guess an early label. What's the seller on this? The vinyl is beautiful. I don't have the exact year, but that would have to be, it may be still the year of release. It still may be the 1970 press, which I think is what year this album came out. This still could be a 70 press, but not necessarily a first pressing. So, very, very clean copy though. Top copy. Tim Tolbert was at 48. John Smetzer's at 50. Black Sabbath is now at 100. The Megadeth puzzle was Peace Sells. Peace Sells. I do have other puzzles. The ones we've had before. I still got Rush, Pantera, and then I have all 4 Ozzies. Blizzard of Oz, Bark at the Moon, Diary of a Madman, and Ultimate Sin. I have so many Ozzy puzzles because I ordered like 100 of every one of them. And we've been selling those for like almost 2 years now. But they have eventually almost all sold. Brown Eyed Girl is not on here. So somebody asked the track listing earlier. And the reason I didn't say that is because this is such a great album. I like every song on here. But the big hits are probably, well, I don't know how to, probably Into the Mystic, Crazy Love, Moon Dance. The first track is probably my favorite, Stone Me, Caravan, Come Running, These Dreams of You, Brand New Day, Everyone, and Glad Tidings. Brown Eyed Girl is on Van Morrison's first album. If that's what you're looking for, I do not have that tonight on any LP. Brown Eyed Girl is on Van Morrison's first album. That is a challenge to find the first press in good condition. We have them sometimes. Even the original 45 in good condition has got difficult to find as of late, in good condition. I think we had one in our dollar sale out on the sidewalk, a copy of Brown Eyed Girl. It looked like somebody had used it for a Frisbee, as do most of them. So, okay, so Black Sabbath, 101, 105, 106, Van Morrison, 51, 55, 110, and 57. I've got 2 more Beautiful Van Morrison records after that. Black Sabbath is at 111. Carole King Tapestry, Warner Creative, new arrival, check condition, EX condition, $22.99. EX condition, $22.99. Elton John's Greatest Hits, VG Plus, $24.99. Elton John's Greatest Hits in the original inner sleeve with the original label, VG Plus, $24.99. The Best of the Blues Brothers is VG Plus, $17.99. That is a German pressing. It has the original insert with it too. Best of the Blues Brothers, VG Plus, $17.99. Jimmy Buffett, Living and Dying in 3/4 time, VG Plus, $14.99. And the Beatles, Rock and Roll Music, VG Plus, $26.99. Ever see Van Morrison First Band Them? Yes, but they're usually in low grade. Black Sabbath 111, Van Morrison 62. I still haven't received confirmation on the accept album I bought last night. Is that normal? Yes, you won't hear from us till Monday. If you buy something from us, like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, we don't invoice until Monday. So we do 5 to 6 sales a week, usually 6. Monday through Saturday, you won't hear from us until Monday when we're sending invoices. So as long as you've messaged us, that's all you have to do. So you don't have to do anything else except buy more records. Josie Wells is first on JB for Jimmy Buffett. Tammy Hinkle's first on the Beatles. And we have Leonard Skinner, One More from the Road, VG Plus, $24.99. We have the Kinks' Greatest Hits, VG Plus, $29.99. The Kinks' Greatest Hits, that's on the original Tricolor Steamboat label, VG Plus, $29.99. Boz Scaggs, Silk Degrees, VG Plus, $14.99. VG Plus, $14.99. And Boz Scaggs, this is his first album. Looks like an OG press because it's a gatefold. And it's a 4-digit, and it's an 1841 Broadway. That has Dwayne Allman on lead guitar. Boz Scaggs, VG Plus, $14.99. So back-to-back Boz there. And Poco, A Good Feeling to Know. That's EX, $9.99, and that has the booklet with it. Okay, so Black Sabbath was at 115 with Shane Devers. Jimmy Ball, I think you're out. Van Morrison, Tim Tolbert was at 62. Tim Tolbert was at 62. John's out on Van Morrison, and Jeff McMaster is at 63. And we have Scott Jokumstaller on Boz Scaggs. And Scott, let me know if you want Silk Degrees or self-titled. Let me know which one of those two you want. And we have new bids on Black Sabbath, 117 and 120 on those. And Van Morrison's back in at 67. Ever thought about selling on Whatnot? We have before. We actually were one of the first record sellers on there. We just don't do it anymore because it just doesn't make a lot of sense for us to. Mark Lent on Boz Scaggs. Actually, I pulled the wrong one. Scott Jokumstaller on Silk Degrees. So that's sold to Scott Jokumstaller. Mark Lent, if you want the other one, let me know. Tommy Flowers was second on Boz Scaggs. I have a feeling they wanted this one. That's the one we don't see too often in his discography. Yeah. So they all three wanted self-titled. Van Morrison's at 69 and Black Sabbath is at 130. We have Three Dog Night Harmony, VG, $9.99. Three Dog Night Harmony, VG, $9.99. Whatnot, we couldn't really, what we do here, as you can see, we can't really do that on Whatnot, plus they charge you a fee. And when I sell a record right here, we have no fees. So I don't like fees. That's why we really don't sell much on eBay. I do sell on Discogs just because we have to with some things, but no reason to pay fees, right, Tanner? Yeah, we have. We've worked about 3 years building a system here, so Whatnot would just be going backwards. The Turtles' Greatest Hits is EX, $19.99. We have sold on there before, though. I didn't really like it, but I've thought about in the future doing maybe something on there occasionally, but like I said, we just don't have. We also don't have time. So the Turtles' Greatest Hits, that's EX, $19.99, and Jackson Browne, Lives in the Balance. Jackson Browne is EX, $12.99. Christine McVie, check out that hop sticker, featuring Fleetwood Mac's superstar vocalist. This is EX, $24.99. Christine McVie, the legendary Christine McVie Perfect album, and Meatloaf is EX, $32.99. Van Morrison, 69. Van Morrison, 71. And Black Sabbath as 140. I think you pulled the one for Scott. He wanted Silk Degrees. Oh, Scott did want Silk Degrees. He did. So Scott wanted Silk Degrees, and that means Tommy Flowers gets the self-titled. Sorry, I misread that. I thought that everybody wanted self-titled. Scott got Silk Degrees here with the Lido Shuffle, and we'll give that one to Tommy Flowers. So one thing about Whatnot is as soon as you buy something, it charges your card. And I guarantee our customers that's watching right now would not like that. Could you imagine explaining to your wife why there's 50 charges from CollectCo on your credit card in a row? Could you imagine? There would be a lot of divorces. There would be, because as soon as you buy something, your card is automatically charged. But that also means a lot of people probably wouldn't be buying much. So the Babies is EX $14.99. Has a pretty heavy creased corner, just FYI. The vinyl's EX $14.99. Chester and Lester, that's EX $12.99. Chester and Lester, EX $12.99. And Long John Baldry, Baldry's Out, that's EX $14.99. Long John Baldry, EX $14.99. Balls of Fire, Black Oak, Arkansas, VG Plus $14.99. We have Black Sabbath is at $142 with Shane Devers. Shane Devers is at $142 on Black Sabbath, and Van Morrison is at $73 with Jeff McMaster. I have started a bidding war with Van Morrison. I figured when it wasn't getting a bid to begin with, I was like, what is going on? But we're back on pace now. We have a high bid of Jeff McMaster at $173, and Black Sabbath is at $145. We have Cheech and Chong Los Conchinos, VG copy $12.99, and Cheech and Chong self-titled is VG Plus $17.99. Back-to-back Cheech and Chongs. We'll figure out who. I'll say it later after we sell them. Dire Straits, VG Plus $24.99. Dire Straits is VG Plus $24.99. That's their debut album. And Dr. Hook, a little bit more. In shrink wrap includes the hit Only 16, EX $16.99. And Bruce Springsteen, Darkness on the Edge of Town. That's a VG Plus $14.99. We have Billy Squier, Emotions in Motion, VG Plus $14.99. So, Black Sabbath, $145, $146, $147, and $150. Jeff McMaster wants Cheech and Chong, the last one shown. Cheech and Chong, self-titled. Van Morrison, I guess we can do a final call. Van Morrison's at $73. This is a beautiful copy. Look at the spine on it. Very nice. It usually shows some kind of signs of ring wear, and when I opened the gatefold earlier, it made that nice popping sound, which means it probably hadn't been opened too many times. Look at all this information. It also includes a Van Morrison, what is this, a biography? It's a lot of words. That is $73 to Jeff McMaster, going twice, going three times. John Lill first on Billy Squier. That's so to John Lill. John Smetzer was second. Van Morrison, I don't think that's $179, that's $79. Black Sabbath $152, and Brian C. wants Los Conchinos. Los Conchinos. That is sold to Brian C. I was going to say, whoever buys those, we can figure out who the marijuana users are, but I won't be that judgmental if you're buying a Cheech and Chong album. The B.B. King Live at the Regal is a 1967. It's $49.99. B.B. King Live at the Regal. $49.99. $49.99. Live at the Regal. $49.99. Okay. Black Oak, Arkansas. Black Oak price. The last Black Oak I showed was Balls of Fire, and that was VG Plus condition, $14.99. Billy Squier, Signs of Life, is EX $17.99. What was the Dr. Hook? That was called A Little Bit More, EX condition, $16.99. Jamie may have said best price. Jamie, everything is sticker right now. I've got an offer on Def Leppard. I'll keep you in mind on BB King, but everything right now is sticker price. Colin Butler said sold on Black Oak, Arkansas. Jimmy Balls out on Black Sabbath. Shane, you have that for $155. Van Morrison's now at $89. Jeff's at $90. Tim says he's out. The Chipmunks sing the Beatles. That's a VG copy, $24.99. 64 mono. Look, it's an audition record from the Chipmunks. This was their audition record. The Chipmunks sing the Beatles, VG copy, $24.99. We have Pat Benatar, Crimes of Passion. VG Plus condition, $9.99. Crimes of Passion, VG Plus, $9.99. And the Bee Gees, 2 Years On. That's a VG Plus, $12.99. The best of ZZ Top is EX condition, $32.99. The best of ZZ Top. So final call on Van Morrison for $90. And final call on Black Sabbath for $155. Blue Oyster Cult Mirrors, EX condition, $17.99. Darren Meyer first on ZZ Top. Darren Meyer first on ZZ Top. The Who's Greatest Hits is a VG Plus, $14.99. The Who's Greatest Hits, VG Plus, $14.99. Ian put Benatar. That's owed to Ian. Van Morrison, I watched him doing Comfortably Numb, I guess with David Gilmour. You wouldn't think about Van Morrison doing Comfortably Numb, but there is a video that exists on YouTube of him doing Comfortably Numb, I guess with Gilmour. I don't think it was with Pink Floyd per se, but I think it was with David Gilmour. Todd Tipton on The Who. Who's Greatest Hits? So to Todd Tipton, Jeff Bergman was second. Jerry Rafferty is VG Plus, $14.99. Mark Fallon says it's with Roger Waters. That sounds correct. Yes, it was. VG Plus, $14.99. Kiss Double Platinum, VG Plus, $34.99. VG Plus, $34.99. And Jeff Beck, Beckola. Jeff Beck is VG, $9.99. Tracy McFadden on Jerry Rafferty. We have The Best of the Beach Boys Volume 2, EX condition, $14.99. And Rosington Collins Band, This Is the Way, EX condition, $22.99. Van Morrison is sold to Jeff McMaster for $90, and Shane Devers gets the Black Sabbath for $155. $155. Cinderella is $38.99, Brian Tyler. New sealed music on vinyl pressing, $38.99. Paul Jackson wants the Jeff Beck Beckola. That's sold to Paul Jackson. Cheech and Chong's Wedding Album, a VG copy, $12.99. So the other two Van Morrisons I have are Astral Weeks and his band and the Street Choir. His band and the Street Choir is a 1970 pressing with insert, and this is another top copy. Same starting bid. Wow, did you hear that? That sounds incredible. This is also, look how nice this is. $45 start. Let's check the label. Green Warner Brothers label. Similar condition, super clean vinyl. You'll be very happy. And it includes the original Warner Brothers inner sleeve. And it's supposed to have an insert with it. It does. It has the original lyric insert here, which I think folds open like this. Domino, that's one of the great tracks on this album. Don't want to discuss it. Opening line. $45 start, 1970 pressing. Look how nice. Almost no wear on the cover. $45 start on that. Brian Tyler says he'll take Cinderella. That's so to Brian Tyler. Okay, Grease is VG Plus, $14.99. Grease soundtrack. And Black Oak, Arkansas, X-rated. X-rated. VG Plus, $14.99. Next auction is going to be something probably from this Japanese bin. In the Japanese bin, I have Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Boston, Billy Joel, Huey Lewis, Duran Duran. The Beatles, Billy Joel, Robert Plant, 38 Special, Eric Clapton, Deep Purple. The Beatles, Hall & Oates, and Duran Duran. Some of those multi-billion sellers from Japan. The first is going to be the Beatles, though. Magical Mystery Tour. Wow, take a look at this one. That's the Obi we don't see too often on this. This is a super nice copy. Absolutely no condition notes on this one. Very, very nice vinyl. Magical Mystery Tour. Super nice. This is going to be a $75 start. There's the Japanese lyric insert. The original inner sleeve. Very nice cover. The booklet, drum roll, is still attached, barely. It is attached, though. You might want to be careful with it. It is still attached, but it's lightly. It's hanging on, I'll put it that way. But, yeah, there's the centerfold. The booklets on these are always detached. Very nice, though. The book was a little bit too heavy for the binding and the staples. They're always loose. Very nice cover, though. Very nice copy. Magical Mystery Tour. $75 start on that. Van Halen is at 49 with Tim Tolbert. Mark Fallon, you're out. Rich Russo first on Grease. Todd Tipton first to Black Oak. Colin, you're second. The Boston was Don't Look Back. Kiss, Destroyer, EX Condition, $39.99. This is a 1985 pressing. Kiss Destroyer, $39.99. We also have OG Astral Weeks. Yes, that's coming up next. By the way, Mark, you're out on Van Morrison Street Choir. Tim has that for $49. Def Leppard High and Dry is a VG copy for $19.99. And Joe Cocker Mad Dogs and Englishmen is VG plus $29.99. And the B-52's Party Mix is a VG plus $17.99. Bill Fratsky, I hope you're first. B-52's Party Mix, VG plus $17.99. Mark Fallon's back in on Van Morrison for $50. And Love Forever Changes is EX $69.99. That is a Monarch press. Love Forever Changes, EX $69.99. Forever Changes. Very clean vinyl. Monarch press, EX $69.99. Van Morrison is at 50 and Van Morrison's at 54. Let's see here. So, looking for a $75 start on Magical Mystery Tour. And I'm going to go back through this crate one more time right now, as soon as I take a drink of water. Well, we got 3 more crates of vintage. I think we got 3 more crates of vintage to go through. Mark Fallon's $50 bid, I do. I see Craig Rutherford said B52. Tim Tolbert, 54. Yeah, Mark Fallon, 55. Okay. Craig Weatherford first to the B52s. That is sold to Craig Weatherford. Okay, so Van Morrison's at 55 with Mark Fallon. We're looking for a $75 start on Beatles Magical Mystery Tour. I'm going to read through these titles one more time. Carole King, Tapestry. Elton John's Greatest Hits. The Best of the Blues Brothers. Leonard Skinner, One More From the Road. The Kinks' Greatest Hits. Poco, A Good Feeling to Know. Three Dog Night Harmony. The Turtles' Greatest Hits. Jackson Browne, Lives in the Balance. Christine McVie. Meatloaf. The Babies. Chester and Lester. Long John Baldry. Dire Straits. Dr. Hook. Bruce Springsteen. Billy Squire, Signs of Life. Tracy Leonard Skinner is a gatefold. Yes, VG Plus condition, $24.99. It is a gatefold. Final call on Van Morrison. Tim Tolbert, let me know if you're in or out. 55 on Van Morrison, and final call on the Beatles at 75. The Chipmunks sing the Beatles. The Bee Gees 2 Years On. Blow Us to Court Mirrors. Kiss Double Platinum. Best of the Beach Boys Volume 2. Rosinton Collins Band. Cheech and Chong Wedding Album. Kiss Destroyer. Def Leppard High and Dry. Joe Cocker Mad Dogs and Englishmen. And Love Forever Changes. EX condition, $69.99. Tracy says, I'll take the Leonard Skinner. Now, what did I do with it? Looks like this one right here. Tim's out on Van Morrison. Final call on Van Morrison, $55. And probably when I come back, I'll put up some new auctions. Let's see here. Let me see what next crate we have. Elvis. Interesting stuff in here for sure. Let's go through this one. Got 3 more crates of vintage to go through. I'll continue to go through this one right here, right now. So that means Van Morrison is sold to Mark Fallon for $65. And if anybody wants the Beatles Magical Mystery Tour, a $75 buy it now. Very, very nice copy of this. Very, very nice copy of Magical Mystery Tour. This is a $75 buy it now on Magical Mystery Tour. And yes, Mark, you got Van Morrison for $55. Was High and Dry $19.99. Let me go check. I've already forgot. I'll put up 2 new auctions in just a moment. Let me find those right here. Def Leppard High and Dry was a VG condition, $19.99. Van Morrison, Astral Weeks. Astral Weeks is a 69 Terre Haute. 69 Terre Haute. That's the original Warner inner sleeve. That's a dark green Warner Brothers label. Astral Weeks, Van Morrison. Super nice vinyl. That is a $55 start on Astral Weeks. $55 start on that. I have it stickered for a little bit more. I'm going to start that one a little lower at 55, even though the other two are 45. That's a $55 start. Pamela Yeager on JC. What was JC? I got Def Leppard for Todd Tipton. I'm assuming JC was Joe Cocker. So that means Todd Tipton gets High and Dry, and I think Pamela wants the Joe Cocker. $55 start on Van Morrison, and we've got a crate of new vintage arrivals. These are non-check condition, and then I've got two more right after this. So let's see what we have here. Steve Miller Band's Greatest Hits, $34.99. So these are all EX Plus to Near Mint Minus. So these are all very clean records, very nice. That has the original inner sleeve with it, $34.99. The Young Rascals has the hype sticker, including Good Lovin', $34.99 for the Young Rascals, $34.99. That's on the two-tone label. Just a couple stray marks on that one. Bob Seger Live Bullet is $29.99. Bob Seger Live Bullet, purple capital label, $29.99 on Bob Seger Live Bullet. And John Lennon Mind Games, that is an Apple pressing, $24.99 for John Lennon Mind Games on Apple, $24.99. Okay, so we have Don Henley was a $35 buy it now, white label promo. That's the only Japanese auction that hadn't sold until the Beatles Magical Mystery Tour, and that was a $75 buy it now. We're looking for a $55 start on Van Morrison, Astral Weeks. That's going once, going twice before I make it a buy it now. We still have Bon Scott Funkos. Can you grab the Hendrix and maybe a couple others we hadn't shown? I don't know if we've shown. The Hendrix are over there, the ones where he's painted. We haven't shown Snoop Dogg, and I think there's a couple restocks on Iron Maidens we hadn't shown either. So 55 on Astral Weeks. And how much is Seeger? Bob Seger was $29.99. 2LP Near Mint Bob Seger, $29.99. And Neil Diamond Love Songs, $9.99. Gold stamp promo right there. And the Andrew Sisters In the Mood, $12.99. The Beatles, this is an 80s pressing, probably a bootleg, $19.99 on Introducing the Beatles, $19.99. And Diary of a Band, John Mayall, Volume 1, $24.99. Van Morrison's is 6'2". And you were just giving your wife a hard time about buying a $40 pair of shoes. Well, there's a big difference between a pair of shoes and a record. Huge difference. I mean, there's so many differences. I guess both you can technically wear out, but if you take care of Van Morrison, it will have a lot better resale value than a pair of used women's shoes. I can guarantee that. This has held some extremely good value if you would have went and bought that originally in 1969. Next Japanese auction is going to be a $35 start. This is 38 Special Forces, Near Mint and Pristine Vinyl. $35 start, has a 2-page Japanese flip and a really nice cover with Obi. 38 Special is a $35 start. $35 start on 38 Special. Van Morrison's at 61, 62, and now 67. Andy Gibb is $19.99. It's a white label promo that comes with a press kit. A press kit, most of them include articles such as this. It has a kind of a 2-page thing. This is official letterhead from RSO Records, and it includes a promotional photograph. $19.99 white label promo as well. Andy Gibb has a press kit with it too. That's sold to Tammy Hinkle. We have Andy Gibb After Dark is $9.99. Andy Gibb After Dark, and Poco is $9.99. Van Morrison's at 67 with Tim Tolbert. 38 Specials, a $35 start. Where is Shaft versus Superfly? I have no idea. Was that something in a hot picture? If it is, then it's somewhere still in one of these crates. I'm assuming it got pulled out, but if not, it may be in one of these crates here in a second. So just be on standby. We have Tammy on Andy Gibb and John Young's at 68 on Van Morrison. The Temptations, Surface Thrills. The Temptations is $14.99 for Surface Thrills. Bear Wires, John Mayall's Blues Breakers, $24.99 for John Mayall. There's 3 tonight that I hadn't seen in a while. Another one, John Mayall from Laurel Canyon, $24.99. Several John Mayalls tonight. Harry Belafonte at Carnegie Hall. This is a RCA Living Stereo title, $24.99. Very clean. I'd say one of the more desirable Harry Belafonte records at Carnegie Hall, the Living Stereo, $24.99. Brent Robley on Bare Wires. That's sold to Brent. Van Morrison's at 76 is the Poco album debut. I think technically this is their... I think they had an album before this. Hey, look, there's Timothy B. Schmidt and Jim Messina. $9.99. That's not their first album, but it is self-titled. Chris Ferrara on Harry Belafonte. That's sold to Chris Ferrara. And Van Morrison's now at $76 of Mark Fallon. Willie Nelson, and this is $14.99. You missed a claim on the second Gibbs. Tammy Hinkle said Andy Gibb, and Tammy Hinkle said Andy Gibb again. That's the same person. Wes Montgomery, A Day in the Life is $19.99. Wes Montgomery, A Day in the Life, and the Moody Blues to Our Children's Children. $14.99 on the Moody Blues, and the Moody Blues on the Threshold of a Dream. These are some very nice copies. No ringware on that cover, and it has a booklet, and the vinyl's near mint, and that's $19.99. Is there two in here? Two Andy Gibbs? There's two Andy Gibbs. There is two Andy Gibbs. Those are both sold to Tammy Hinkle. I showed two back-to-back, didn't even realize it. Another Moody Blues on the Threshold, or excuse me, In Search of Lost Chord, $24.99. Those are all very nice copies. I know we have Moody Blues every night, but those are very nice copies. We had a copy of Days of Future Past earlier tonight. He must have got into the Wisconsin Moody Blues collection. Most of the stuff here, I believe, is from the Wisconsin batch. This is Ace Frehley, Frehley's Comet. It's Over Now, 12-inch single promo. That is $19.99 on Megaforce. Ace Frehley, Frehley's Comet. EZO, Side 1 Flashback Heart Attack and Side 2 Flashback Heart Attack. Produced by Gene Simmons. This is $9.99. Something Kiss related. $9.99. And Dokken, Will the Sun Rise? Dokken's a white label promo, $12.99. Van Morrison's at 80. Tracy McFadden first on Ace. Mike Kennedy was second. 38 Special is a $35 buy it now. Todd Tipton's first on Dokken. I'll pull that in just a second. 38 Special is a $35 buy it now. No bid on that. Todd Tipton is first on Dokken. Jeff McMaster second. Jeff Bergman third. I'm going to put that over there with Don Henley and the Beatles. Robin Gibbs, Secret Agent, $9.99. That also has promo markings. And another Dokken, It's Not Love, white label promo, $12.99. Paul Jackson says he would do $35 on the 38. So $35 buy it now on the 38 Special. Jeff McMaster gets the other Dokken 12-inch single. Todd Tipton was second. So now we have somebody out on Van Morrison that was bidding. That means Craig Johnson has it for 80. And that's a final call on Van Morrison. Final call. So Jeff was first to the second Dokken 12-inch single. Todd was second. And Jeff was third. Here's some new Funkos. I have a waiting list from this from a long time ago, including Sherry Darnell. You was on a waiting list and several other people. If you want one, just go ahead and comment live. It was from so long ago, I didn't tag everybody whenever those come in. Sometimes if a waiting list is really old, I'll go ahead and just like ask you again. But there is Snoop Dogg, $14.99. We have Cher. Haven't shown that one before here live. Cher is $14.99. I also have a U2 one. Mr. Larry Mullen Jr. from U2. That is $14.99. And this has been a very popular one. I sold out the last time I showed it. Jimi Hendrix, and he's all purple hazed. Jimi Hendrix is $14.99. It's a purple. And that's called a Funko Gold. That's more like a more realistic, almost like an action figure, more so than like a Funko. $14.99. I've got another 6 of those. I've got a lot of Snoop Dogs because I had like 8 people on a waiting list, so I think I ordered like 14 of them. So I've got a lot of those. So plenty of Snoop Dogs for everybody. I think I've got a couple shares, and I've got several Larry Mullins. I wish I could get the rest of the U2 so we could have the set, but right now I think I can only get Larry and Adam Clayton. I think Edge and Bono are sold out at the moment. So Josie Wells wants a Snoop Dogg Tanner, and we also need to pull one for Sherry Darnell. She said she still wants one. So Snoop for Josie, Snoop for Sherry, And Sherry also wants a share for Sherry. Stacy Metternich also wants a share. We have another share, so we can give one of those for sure to Stacy. Tommy Green also on share. Tommy, if we have a third one, I'll give you the third one, but if we only have one, I'll put you on a waiting list. We've been selling those in the store. I think I ordered 3 or 4 or 5 of those for the store, and I think we only have 2 left, so we've been selling those. Our Funko section got wiped out today. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Looks like we sold 8, and then there's 2 from the Harry Potter. We sold 10, and then there's 2 missing over there. I think we sold 12 Funkos here in the store today, which is a lot. I don't know. It must have been a collector come in. It happens quite often. The Jimi Hendrix is this one right here, $14.99. And Steve Merkel says he'll take a Jimmy. I've got 5 of these left now, $14.99. It is a Funko. It's not a pop. It is by Funko. It is by the brand Funko. It's called Gold. That's $14.99. I will show the John Mayalls in just a second. I'll go back through this crate. But yeah. So we've got all those pulled. I think everybody got one except Tommy Green's share. Josie got a Snoop Dogg. Sherry got a Snoop Dogg. Sherry Darnell got a share. Stacy got a share. Tommy Green, waiting list for share. Steve Merkel wants a Jimi Hendrix. And Josie Wells wants a Jimi Hendrix. I do have the Seinfeld Funkos. I have Newman. I've got Kramer. I've got the Soup Nazi. And I've got Jerry. I think I'm sold out of George Costanza. I think most people can relate to him, so that's why he's a little bit more popular. I think most people's like, yeah, George is pretty much me. There's Larry Mullen Jr., still got Bon Scott. Okay, back to records. So now we're on a final call on Van Morrison. That's with Craig Johnson at $80. 1969 press. Final call, $80. And I'm going to put up new auctions. Back to the bin. We have the Best of Rod Stewart Volume 2, $26.99. Best of Rod Stewart Volume 2. $26.99. Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle, classic album, $19.99. These are all EX Plus to Near Mint Minus. Steve Miller Band, Book of Dreams, EX Condition. That's EX Condition, $19.99. EX Condition, $19.99. The Kinks, One for the Road. This is $24.99. The Kinks, One for the Road, $24.99. Boz Scaggs and Band, $19.99. Randy Scarborough wants Fly Like an Eagle. That's sold to Randy Scarborough. Thank you. The Turtles, It Ain't Me, Babe. The Turtles is $34.99. The Temptations, Truly for You. The Temptations is $9.99. And Bobby V, Take Good Care of My Baby, $9.99. And Elvis, Legendary Performer, Volume 1 is $12.99. Rich Russo wants Book of Dreams. Definitely need to go back through that crate again. All the crates tonight, in my opinion, have been great, and we still got a lot of great stuff left over, but we still have more new vintage to go through. Heavy vintage tonight. Because of the holiday, deliveries have been kind of weird. We should have more new vinyl tomorrow. Lots of more new vinyl tomorrow. And then Monday and Tuesday, we probably will be loaded because of all these new pre-orders and stuff that were slightly delayed because of the holiday. Craig Johnson gets Van Morrison for $80. I've got a couple records behind the counter that I test played last night. I'm going to put those up for auction. One of them's a really low-grade record. One of them's a Japanese pressing. And one of them is a really cool compilation. So let me show all these right quick. I test played this White album. I'm not for sure why it was set aside, but I test played it and it sounds fantastic. Yeah, it was not tagged or anything. So this is a really hard to get compilation that I found in the back, flipping through some Wisconsin stuff. It's called The New Age of Atlantic. And what I like about this is this first word at the top. It says Led Zeppelin. This is one of the few ways you can get Hey, Hey, What Can I Do on vinyl. I call it the Lost Zeppelin single. One of my favorite songs, and that's the first track on side 1. Hey, Hey, What Can I Do? Led Zeppelin. And this is an Atlantic compilation. It also has Yes on here, John Prine, Delaney and Bonnie, Jay Giles, Cactus, Jonathan Edwards. There's some great songs on here. We listened to this last night while we were working on other records. VG Plus Condition. We'll start it at $15. And like I said, first track is Led Zeppelin, Hey, Hey, What Can I Do? That was not released on any of their studio albums. It wasn't even put on Coda. It's the B-side to the Immigrant Song. So this is one of the few ways you can actually get it originally on an LP. So It's on the B-side of the Immigrant Song, 1970. That's a great compilation. Awesome cover, too. And that's in VG Plus condition. I have test played it. It sounds really good. I'm calling it VG Plus, but it sounds really good. Stacy's at $15. Now, this one is a buyer beware record. I saw it in the back. John had it laid off to the side. And I was like, well, we'll go test play it. But unfortunately, it is pretty beat. This is a 19. And by the way, for those that key all of your records into Discogs, and also props to John and Paul, who have to constantly look up matrix numbers all day. Of course, that's their job. They price a lot of records for us, or we wouldn't be able to do these shows. But I spent probably 15 minutes trying to figure out what pressing I had here. I'm amazed they're able to price as much as they do looking up all these matrix numbers. I believe this is 67 German pressing of Jimi Hendrix Are You Experienced, which I thought was cool, even though it's in poor condition. It's not VG minus. It's not good plus. I'm going to call it poor because the first track, Foxy Lady, it got hung up and it was skipping. So it's got a lot of wear. It's a heavily worn record, but I was going to put it up for $1 start. You don't see that cover too often. You don't see that cover too often over here because that's the Euro cover. Also, it has additional tracks. Now, I skipped over the needle, and the rest of side 1 played fine. It actually played like a VG record, but there is some skips. I think side 2 we got hung up on. Let me find that mark. Side 2 we got hung up on, I think, Third Stone from the Sun. One of those tracks, I can't remember. But yeah, $1 start, VG minus cover, and just buyer beware on the vinyl. We're going to call it poor condition. You can still listen to it. Most of it still plays as a VG, but I just thought it would be put up for auction. That is a 67 German pressing. So OG German too. At first glance, I was hoping it would be a UK. That's pretty desirable in any condition. But yeah, matrix numbers are, man, that's all Paul and John does is research these records all day, looking up these matrix so we can tell you what pressing. It is very time consuming. When I do it, it's like, man, this is like I've been working on one record for 15 minutes. So I'm amazed we're able to get this many priced every day. So some we don't. Like, there's no reason to look up the matrix on Elvis Legendary Performer. I mean, we know what that is and we know what the price is, but some you have to figure out what they are, like these Van Morrison records and all these others. So, okay, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. We had price on Elvis, Michael Golston. Elvis here, Legendary Performer, is $12.99. $12.99. Is there anything special with the Testament albums? The Testament albums are all music on vinyl, black vinyl. Music on vinyl, black vinyl. Stacy's at 15 on the comp. Now 25, now 16, now 17, then 27. So Stacy's at 27 on the comp. And we have Jimi Hendrix 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. And so the Jimi Hendrix is at 8. Elvis was $12.99. I'm just going to read these titles one more time. We have Steve Miller Band Greatest Hits. If you want to know any prices, let me know. If you want to know any prices, let me know. Does Atlantic LP have a poster? No poster. Well, let me check in the jacket, but yeah, no poster. It also, the cover needs re-gluing. It has the original inner sleeve there that came with it. But yeah, about a VG cover, being that you probably can refix the glue. It's not really ripped or torn or anything. But yeah, Led Zeppelin. Also, Yes Song is America, which I don't think that was on any of their albums. There's a lot of stuff here that wasn't on a lot of people's albums. The John Prine song is Sam Stone. The Delaney and Bonnie is one of my favorites. Only You Know and I Know. That's one of their best songs. So yeah, that's a really cool comp. Lillian's at 30. Jimi Hendrix is at 10. Okay, Steve Miller Band, The Young Rascals, John Lennon Mind Games, Bob Seger Live Bullet, Neil Diamond Love Songs, Andrew Sisters, The Beatles, Diary of a Band. So several people asked for the John Mayall titles. The first one is The Diary of a Band. This looks like a UK copy, $24.99. Blue Decca label, The Diary of a Band. The Temptations. This one calls Blues from Laurel Canyon. John Mayall, Blues from Laurel's Canyon. Poco, Willie Nelson, Wes Montgomery, The Moody Blues, The Moody Blues, and The Moody Blues. EZO, produced by Gene Simmons, from the album EZO. That was a 12-inch single, $9.99. Robin Gibb, Rod Stewart, the Kinks, Boz Scaggs, the Turtles, Temptations, and Bobby V. Yeah, you can use this, the regular glue stick. If you ever have a seam, I don't recommend repairing mini jackets. Like, don't ever use tape, of course. Don't ever try to touch anything up with a Sharpie. But you can glue back the seam, and that's not going to affect value anyway. But also, just like with any collectible, be careful when you're trying to repair stuff. You can really mess something up, and don't ever put tape on anything. That is like the worst of the worst. When tape is on it, it's over. So I have seen some people, I've got some covers before, and I've looked at them, I'm like, wait a minute. They've used a Sharpie on this. Especially on like a black cover. You can tell, especially if it hits the light. Very noticeable. Okay, so Jimi Hendrix 910. The comp was at 30. We have Jimi Hendrix at 11. Jimi Hendrix is at 12. Jimi Hendrix is at 15. Jimi Hendrix is at 16. And we have Alice Cooper Goes to Hell. So new crate of new arrivals. Alice Cooper Goes to Hell is $26.99. That is $26.99. Alice Cooper Goes to Hell. So new crate of new vintage arrivals. That's sold to Craig Johnson. We have AC/DC Highway to Hell. This is $34.99. AC/DC Highway to Hell, $34.99. 180 gram with the original inner sleeve, $34.99. Mike and the Mechanics is $19.99. Mike Rutherford, Mike and the Mechanics, $19.99. Near Mint, $19.99. And Deep Purple Machine Head. This is in shrink wrap. 80s press with an insert, $34.99. Deep Purple Machine Head, $34.99. That's the second label for this album. It is in shrink wrap, $34.99. $34.99. Steve Miller price. Luke, sorry, I think I missed your comment on that earlier. Steve Miller Band. The Greatest Hits was $34.99. The Greatest Hits is $34.99. And was there another one in there? So yeah, just $34.99. And I'm not for sure the exact pressing. It's definitely something vintage, 1970. Let's see here. I guess this came out in 78, this comp, and I think that's what this is from. Also has this original inner sleeve, $34.99. Steve Miller Band's Greatest Hits, $34.99. Very, very nice. It is near mint with that original inner sleeve. Lord Tracy has sold. Yes, Lord Tracy sold. I got to looking that up last night, and it's really hard to find a copy in the U.S. for sale. I now realize why we had such a battle war for that record. Okay, so we can do a final call on the comp, $30. Lily McCurry has that for $30. And Jimi Hendrix is at 11, now 12, and then 15, and then 16 for the Jimi Hendrix, $16. Joe Beatty got the AC/DC Highway to Hell. And we have Mike and the Mechanics and Deep Purple Machine Head. Crosby, Stills, and Nash Replay, $24.99. Crosby, Stills, and Nash Replay, $24.99. And Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young American Dreams, $24.99. Always a long title to say because you have to say all four of their names. Or you could say CSNY, $24.99. El Dorado, a Symphony for Electric Light Orchestra, $19.99. ELO, a Symphony for Electric Light Orchestra, $19.99. And Brain Salad Surgery, $19.99. Brain Salad Surgery, $19.99. That has an anti-static inner sleeve with it. Looks like it's in really nice condition. ELP, $19.99. And the best of Emerson, Lake and Palmer, $19.99. The best of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. That is $19.99. Okay, so final call on Jimi Hendrix. I'm going to go ahead and sell the comp to Lily McCurry for $30. The kind of relic condition for this Jimi Hendrix, we're going to call that just in relic collectible condition on the Jimi Hendrix Are You Experienced. That's like, you can play it, but just be careful. And that's a final call at $16. I wish it was near mint. So next claim or next record is McCartney 2, $24.99. Gatefold McCartney 2, $24.99. There's the label. We have AC/DC Back in Black. This is a 2003 pressing, $34.99, 180 gram with the original inner sleeve. $34.99, and Lily McCurry wants Emerson, Lake and Palmer's best. That's sold to Lily McCurry. And the Bengals different light. The Bengals is $24.99. $24.99 on the Bengals different light. That's from that collection that has some of the Braille strips on the side. Manic Monday and Walk Like an Egyptian, a couple of the hits on that. Jimi Hendrix is now at 17. Elvis, You'll Never Walk Alone, $9.99 on Elvis. And Jackson Browne, Hold Out. Jackson Browne is $14.99. $14.99. Let's see here. We have Robert Plant, Shaken and Stirred. Japanese pressing, $35 start for Robert Plant, Shaken and Stirred. $35 start. Robert Plant, Shaken and Stirred. That is near mint and pristine. We have the Japanese insert with it. Also have the Japanese kind of booklet, Japanese insert, and then a really nice cover of Obi. Robert Plant is a $35 start. Okay, so Jimi Hendrix is now at 17. Jake's out. And Jeff, I will check that for you, but I'm going to say it does not. It does have the original inner sleeve, but it does not. We have Carla Bonoff, Wild Heart of the Young. Carla Bonoff is $9.99. Elvis, as recorded at Madison Square Garden. That's in shrink wrap with the original Kmart price tag, $14.99. The Best of the Doobies, Volume 2, $14.99. That's in shrink wrap. And Jackson Browne, Lawyers in Love, $14.99. Alice Cooper, another copy of Zipper Catches Skin, $26.99. We had one earlier. There's one as well, $26.99 on AC. Little River Band, Sleeper Catcher, $9.99 on that. And Brian Miller on the Doobie Brothers. Craig Johnson first on Alice Cooper. We got most people out on Jimi Hendrix, so Kelly, you have that for 17, final call. And Robert Plant is a $35 start. John Smetzer on the Bengals. John Smetzer on the Bengals. That's so to John Smetzer. We have Neil Young. Everybody knows this is Nowhere. One of my favorites. It's a gatefold, super clean, $34.99. Neil Young, everybody knows this is Nowhere. The Babies Anthology is $19.99. That's like a Babies Hits comp. Near mint vinyl. Very, very nice. $19.99. $19.99. Aztec Two-Step. Aztec Two-Step is $19.99. And Nat King Cole, Ramblin' Rose. Ramblin' Rose. That's in shrink wrap, $9.99. Black Oak, Arkansas is $19.99. That's one we don't get as often. If an angel came to see you, would you make her feel at home? $19.99. Joe Maynard first on BAB. That was for the Babies. Tawana was second. Joe Maynard third. Colin first on Black Oak. Todd, you were second. Let's go ahead and sell Jimi Hendrix to Kelly Bagwell for $17. And Robert Plant is a $35 buy it now. If anybody wants that, $35 buy it now. I also test played this copy of the Beatles' White Album last night. It's a Japanese pressing. It is a $55 start, which I think you should be all over for this because I have test played it. The vinyl is near mint and pristine. It also includes the original poster. There's both of the original inner sleeves. And there's LP number 2, also near mint minus. It sounds really, really good. The cover, just a little bit. I mean, it's obviously very hard to find mint White Album covers. A little bit of discoloration on the Obi and on the inside of the gatefold and right in here. It is embossed, serial numbered, Apple, Obi. Let me see if there's any photos tucked anywhere. I don't see any photos. Well, let me check this other pocket. I don't see any photos unless maybe they're tucked inside the poster. I don't think so. Nope. Okay, so just poster, 2 LP, original inner sleeves, gatefold cover, Obi, embossed, and that is serial numbered. $35 buy it now, Robert Plant, if anybody wants that. We have a $55 bid on the Beatles and now $60. Josie, I'll grab the Hall & Oates right now. Let me show a few more in this crate, then I'll grab our next auction, which will be Hall & Oates. I think it's H2O. I think it's a copy of H2O. Robert there, $35 buy it now, shaken and stirred. Okay, we have Eric Clapton, Just One Night. This is a 1980 white label promo, $44.99. White label promo, Eric Clapton, Just One Night, $44.99. The Doobie Brothers, Minute by Minute, $14.99 for the Doobie Brothers Minute by Minute, and Carla Bonoff, Restless Nights, $9.99. Nick Badgeron, first on Eric Clapton. Elvis Gold Records Volume 1 is Gold Records Volume 3 is $14.99, and that's in shrink wrap. John Lill wants RP, which I think was for Robert Plant. The buy it now for that, which is $35. Casey Campbell is at $60 on the Beatles' White Album. Chris DiLorenzo, You're Out at $55. And I'm over here grabbing our next Japanese auction, which is going to be Hall & Oates H2O. H2O, Hall & Oates. This is near mint and pristine, and it is a $35 start. It does have the Obi. $35 start, Hall & Oates H2O. Near mint and pristine vinyl. Has the Japanese insert, perfect cover, and Obi. $35 start on that. The Beatles is at $61. We also have Elvis Legendary Performer Volume 2. That's in shrink wrap. $14.99 on Elvis Legendary Performer Volume 2. As Seen on TV, Today's Gold, $14.99. Compilation, $14.99. I see Looking Glass. I wonder if that has Brandy on it. There's another song they had. Yeah, this has Jeannie Lynn on it. $14.99. Nat King Cole Condition and Price. Nat King Cole was Ramblin' Rose. It is near mint in shrink wrap. $9.99. An original Capitol mono press. $9.99 on Nat King Cole. Rhino Teen Magazine, the best of 1910 Fruit Gum Company and other bubblegum smashes. $14.99. Rich Shockley sold on Nat King Cole. Casey Campbell, You're Out on the Beatles. Casey Campbell, You're Out on the Beatles. That's at $60. Or actually $61 with Chris DiLorenzo. And Hall & Oates is a $35 start. Casey's back in at $65. The Big Chill soundtrack is $19.99. The Big Chill soundtrack is $19.99. That has an awesome compilation, track listing compilation on it. Linda Ronstadt is $14.99. And Linda Ronstadt, Heart Like a Wheel, is $9.99. Linda and Linda, back to back. Country Casanova, Commander Cody and His Lost Planet Airmen, is $17.99. And Get Out of My Room, Cheech and Chong. Boy, I've never seen that one before. $24.99, 1985, Cheech and Chong. Get Out of My Room, $24.99. Brian Adams, Reckless, $19.99. And Elvis, Legendary Performer, Volume 4. I will say, I don't know if I see Volume 4 as much as I do 1, 2, and 3. $12.99 on Elvis. Lyle Lovett. Lyle Lovett is $32.99. Self-titled Lyle Lovett. And Shiloh, Neil Diamond, $14.99. Fortunately, no one has connected the dots. It's on the original Bang label. Very nice. Shiloh, $14.99. All right. So we had Nat King Cole. We had the Beatles at 65. We had the Beatles at 66. The Beatles at 68. Jeff McMaster on Lyle Lovett, and Wyatt was second. Chris is out on the Beatles, so Casey has that for 68. Final call. Josie gets Shiloh. Let's make Hall & Oates a buy it now for $35. If anybody wants Hall & Oates, not Hal, Hall & Oates, that's a $35 BIN, which means buy it now. I got that term originally from on eBay. It's a buy it now. I think now they call it a fixed price when you're listing something. It used to be a BIN, buy it now, back in the day. Okay, let me read through these titles one more time. I have another crate of vintage. I probably need to mix in at least one crate of new vinyl somewhere. We are flying through the vintage, but I'm definitely going to go back through everything a second time and probably kick it down like one gear and go everything. First time I go, when we have a lot of vintage, I go through it really fast, try to show everything, and then I go through it again and maybe show it in a little bit more detail for those that care about that. I'm going to go over here and pour. I guess they all care about it, but I guess for those that maybe don't catch it as fast. Because sometimes I go so fast I don't even know what I'm showing. There'll be people claim something, I'll be like, did I even have that? Let me put some more ice in here. Also, 45 mystery boxes. Let me grab one while I'm looking at it. 45 mystery boxes. We have sold another 5 or 7 today from the group post. I think we're about to hit 50, which I didn't think we would sell near that many. Let me show you the one that I took pictures of. If anybody wants a If anybody wants a 45 mystery box, here's how they're going to look until I may have to order some more mailers. They're going to come like this in your package. Sorry, my fingers were wet from the ice, but they're going to come just like that. That's 15 45s. And then, some of these, like the Yardbirds there, that was a record we had, I think, marked $9.99 or $14.99, over, under, sideways, down. It's going to be a mix of records. You could get all rock, you could get all country, you could get pop and rock and country, you could get some children's records. I'm going to try to make most of them, and I'm going to try to make them pretty balanced. And that is a random assortment. That looks like more than 15, doesn't it? But it's only 15 there. And if you just buy one, we'll probably ship it to you like this. But what I'm going to do is keep them all sealed and taped up. I'm going to make like 50 of them. And then you'll get them inside your packages. They're $11.99. And we were discussing it last night. If we can get to 50, I'm probably going to put some like gift cards in some of them. So if you get one and you get a prize, be sure to post it in the group. But I'm probably going to put some like free shipping redemptions in some of them, or gift cards, or maybe like a free t-shirt redemption, because we can't actually fit a t-shirt in there. So if you want one, just comment mystery box. I've had one guy buy 9 of them. So some people's getting 1, some people's getting 9. So just let me know if you want one or how many you want. And I got to start working on those ASAP. I may have to overnight some 45 mailers because, but I figured we'd sell even more when people found out there may be some mystery treasure in some of them, like a gift card or a free t-shirt redemption or free shipping on your next order or something like that. So $11.99. $11.99. And this is going to help us sell 45s in a much faster way. We have so many 45s. I don't think I'll ever be able to sell them in my lifetime, especially at the rate we buy them. So we have a lot. Okay, Craig Johnson wants Bryan Adams from here. The Beatles is now at 70. Joe Maynard bid 70 on the Beatles White Album. Who else was bidding? Casey Campbell. So Casey, you're out on the Beatles. Joe has that for 70. Jake wants a mystery box. So did Wyatt, Jedit, Jared Benoit, Jeff Bergman. And the mystery box is $11.99. Tanner, if he sees your name, he's going to write you down. Christopher Brusher also wants one. And those will come just like your in your package. They'll be sealed in a mailer like that. So Latin International. Well, if we have them out back there, possibly. But basically, I have this whole display of 45s. It's pretty new stuff. It's stuff we priced like last week, and it's stuff from 2020. And I'm probably just going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Put them in a mailer and tape it up. There's no telling what you'll get. But like I said, it's a great way to listen to music you've maybe never heard before. Casey Campbell's at $75. So Casey Campbell's at $75 on the White Album. Let's read these titles one more time. Mike and the Mechanics, Deep Purple, Machine Head, Crosby, Stills, and Nash Replay, Crosby, Stills, Nash, American Dream, ELO, El Dorado, ELP, Brain Salad Surgery, Highway to Hell, Back in Black, Elvis, You'll Never Walk Alone, or You'll Never Be Alone. That is, You'll Never Walk Alone, Elvis. Jackson Browne, Hold Out, McCartney 2, Carla Bonoff, Elvis, Jackson Browne, Little River Band, Neil Young, Aztec Two-Step, the Doobie Brothers, Carla Bonoff, Elvis Volume 3, Gold Records, Elvis Volume 2. We have As Seen on TV, Today's Gold, Rhino Teen Magazine, the best of basically bubblegum hits. The Big Chill soundtrack, Linda Ronstadt, Commander Cody, Cheech and Chong, and Elvis. Okay, so the Beatles is at 77. Casey's out. So Joe has the Beatles at 77. Casey's out. We have Gus wants 2 mystery boxes. The Mike and the Mechanics was called, I guess that's a self-titled, has their hit song Silent Running, 1999 on Mike and the Mechanics. Details on Deep Purple. Deep Purple is Machine Head. It's near mint and shrink wrap. It's a 1980s press. It is a gatefold and shrink wrap, near mint, $34.99. Price on Neil Young. Neil Young is $34.99. Everybody knows this is nowhere. Does Volume 4 have a booklet with it? Elvis Legendary Before? It does. It does have the booklet with it. Mr. Michael, and that is $12.99. Joshua, the AC/DC was a 2003 180 gram pressing, $34.99. Okay, so final call now on the Beatles White Album. Joe's at $77. Joe Maynard has that for $77. I can't believe it's already 10:16, but I guess we didn't start till 8. Mike School says he'll take that and a mystery box. So Michael got the Elvis and a mystery box. Mr. Tanner, the last time we did mystery boxes, I was doing it with albums, and we were selling them for like $50 a piece, but we had like 20 mystery boxes at $50 a piece, and one of those included a copy of, we had an OG Pearl Jam 10, an original press sealed. We put that in one of the random mystery boxes. But what was happening is people were getting unhappy with their selection. They were getting their records and they were not liking what they were getting. And I was like, well, it's pretty much like just a random, you don't know what you're going to get. So we kind of stopped doing that and just we just stopped doing it. So, wow, there's some great records in this crate. Look at this. Copperhead Road OG with hop sticker. Let me go through this crate. This is our next crate of vintage, and it's starting to look really, really good. So, I will say this as a disclaimer on the mystery boxes. I will say this. It's not like you're going to be guaranteed to hand select and everything in there. You're going to be like, wow, I love every one of these artists. It's literally probably stuff that you don't know or maybe you've never even listened to, which would be one and the same. So that is what a mystery box is. I don't want everybody to think that if your favorite artist is Led Zeppelin, you're going to open up a mystery box and it's going to be 15 Led Zeppelin 45s. It's going to be a random assortment of random records. But that's why we stopped doing the LPs. I can bring those back. Maybe now that everybody's clear, I can start doing random LP boxes too. But we were basically doing that because we would have like a really expensive record, and we was like, well, we'll basically do mystery boxes. We'll throw that record in one of the mystery boxes. Somebody's going to spend $50 and get an $800 album, and whoever won it was very happy. So it's a mystery. Okay, let me go back to the comments. We have, let's see, the Beatles is sold to, that was sold to Joe Maynard for $77. That sold to Joe Maynard for $77. Okay, and then Hall & Oates was a $35 buy it now. I just pulled 2 auctions out of this bin. Let me show those right now. This is an awesome crate of new arrivals. Jim Stevens says he'll get Jim Neighbors 45s. Yep, go ahead and expect a whole box full of Lawrence Welk 45s and Jackie Gleason. Now, most of this stuff we're pulling off of our store inventory. So it's stuff like we've priced and put out for sale. We're basically, I want to kind of thin everything out and then restart because we have this awesome batch of 45s in the back that have never been put out. Really good stuff. Europe, Out of This World is a $25 start. Europe, Out of This World, $25 start, has a light crease there in the corner. Near mint vinyl and about a VG Plus cover. We have Steve Earle, Copperhead Road. This is a $50 start. It has the hop sticker. Copperhead Road is now one of the official songs of the state of Tennessee. Gold stamp promo, Copperhead Road. And you probably can thank the University of Tennessee for that. And some of the representatives from Knoxville. Near mint vinyl, pristine, with the original inner sleeve. And this is a $50 start with hop sticker. This album has been long out of print. If I knew what I had this, I probably would have put it in the hot picture. Steve Earle, Copperhead Road, $50 start on that. Haven't seen that in a while. $50 start on that. Europe is a $25 start on Out of This World. Next is Larry Smith wants a mystery box. We have ZZ Top, El Loco. ZZ Top is $34.99. Squeeze, single. Squeeze is $24.99. Tempted by the fruit of another. $24.99. Squeeze singles. Billy Squier, don't say no. Billy Squier is $19.99. $19.99. Elvis, Legendary Performer Volume 3. This is the picture disc. Picture disc is $19.99. Elvis, Welcome to My World. That's in shrink wrap, $9.99. Elvis is a 1973 Indianapolis press. This is one of those I never can figure out the name of the album. It's called Elvis. That's the title, Elvis, by Elvis Presley. He has about 18 self-titled albums. There's a lot that he just called, or they just called, Elvis. He probably didn't even know what was being released. Rich Russo on BS, which is Billy Squier. That's sold to Rich Russo. And we have ZZ Top Rio Grande Mud. This is a 2011 180-gram remaster, $34.99. Gus C wants 2 mystery boxes. Gus, you got it. 2 mystery boxes. ZZ Top is $34.99. Crowded House. Crowded House is $24. Well, that's a wicked clip corner. They cut off 10% of the cover. That is $24.99 on Crowded House. Larry Smith wants the Elvis picture disc, Legendary Performer Volume 3. That's sold to Larry Smith. Elvis, another, is that the same one? Or do we have 2 of those in it? Yeah, we got 2 copies of Welcome to My World, $9.99. ELO, Face the Music, Electric Light Orchestra is $19.99. Has the original inner sleeve with it. Final Call if you want to get in on Europe for $25, and Final Call if you want to get in on Steve Earle at $50. Can I bid on Steve Earle, Tanner? Can I bid $50? Okay, I'm bidding $50 on Steve Earle. So now you have to bid $51. I don't think I have that one. With hop sticker, Copperhead Road. Jeff McMaster is going to get the ELO. That's sold to Jeff McMaster. Elvis Costello, Punch the Clock, $24.99 on Elvis Costello. Elvis Costello, My Aim is True. That is $24.99. Jeff Beck Group, VG Plus, $14.99. Jeff Beck, VG Plus, $14.99. The Beach Boys, Spirit of America. The Beach Boys Spirit of America is $24.99. And Pat Benatar, Tropico, $14.99 for Tropico, Pat Benatar. Let's see. Steve Earle, 50, 51, and now 51. Craig Johnson on JPG. That was Jeff Beck. I bet that was LPG, PGP. Hold on a second. That was Jeff Beck Group. That's what I thought. Craig threw me for a loop. JPG, LBG, but he meant JBG for Jeff Beck. That's sold to Craig Johnson. Zumo is first on one of the Elvis Costellos. Zumo, let me know if you want My Aim is True or Punch the Clock, Mr. Zumo. You got dibs on either one of those. We have another $51 bid on Steve Earle, and now a $55 bid, and now a $58 bid, and Zumo wants My Aim is True. $60 on Steve Earle. Black Sabbath, Technical Ecstasy, a 1976 LA press, $39.99. Black Sabbath Technical Ecstasy, $39.99. The Boomtown Rats, The Fine Art of Surfacing, $19.99 on Boomtown Rats, and Blood, Sweat, and Tears, self-titled, $19.99. Steve Earle, does it have a barcode? It does not. It has a little bit of cover damage down here at the bottom. Looks like a light stain right here. It does have some paper stuck to it. It's a gold stamp promo. It has a corner crease up here, kind of a stress crease right there. It does have the hype sticker. It's on a blue uni label. Blue uni label. High bid on that is $60. What Pat Benatar is that? Todd Tipton, that was Tropico. And Black Sabbath was $39.99. Pop figures. We have the new AC/DC, which was just released. This just came out. Bon Scott and Larry Mullen Jr. from U2. And those are both $14.99. Bon Scott and Larry Mullen Jr. ZZ Top's first album. Nice. In shrink wrap. It's a later reissue, but a vintage copy. Near mint in shrink wrap, $34.99. Brent Robley wants a Bon Scott Funko. You just writing those names down, or do you want this one? Tanner, okay. We probably have like 2 or 3 of those left now. We've sold a lot. Craig Johnson first on ZZ Top. So Steve Earle is at $60. The vinyl is near mint. The vinyl is near mint, and we'll have to call that cover a VG because of that damage along the bottom. You really can't see it from the front. It does have the hype sticker and Crowded House. Crowded House, the vinyl is A-OK. It also has the original inner sleeve, but they got a little excited when they were clipping the corner, and they cut off about 5% of the cover. So, but everything else is nice. $24.99. How much is Cinderella? Cinderella is $38.99. Someone asked earlier, and we sold one. Long Cold Winter. We also have Night Songs. Those are both $38.99. The Police, Outlandos D or More. The Police is $24.99. Outlandos D or More, Roxanne. And Pregnant. Does that look right? Pregnant, I guess. $19.99. That's very odd looking. It doesn't have a... it's a top loader. I was about to say, it's sealed. It loads from the top, $19.99. Mike Taniti. I usually just say Mike T. Mike T wants The Police. Paul Brothers is at $25 on Europe. I forgot about Europe over here. Europe got left behind. Final Call. Paul Brothers has that at $25. Craig Johnson wants The Police. And Gavin's out on Steve Earle. So now we're about to sell Steve Earle for $60 to Shane Devers. The Pretenders, get close. The Pretenders is $19.99. I didn't know they still made records like this. This is another compilation. I want to thank from Warner Brothers. It is. Warner Brothers had a lot of compilations. $24.99. This has Gordon Lightfoot, Greg Allman, Rex Allen Jr., Wendy Wallman, Jesse Colin Young, and Rod McEwen. That's just on the first side. That's got 4 sides of music like that. 61 on Steve Earle, now 62. Streetwalkers, Vicious but Fair. Streetwalkers is $9.99. Jeff Beck is $19.99. And Fenton Robinson, Night Flight. Fenton Robinson's $19.99. Steve Earle, 61, 62, 65. Europe is sold to Paul Brothers for $25. That's sold to Paul Brothers for $25. From the Beginning, B.B. King. Never seen that before. $29.99. It's a 2LP gatefold on Kent. That is, it's a white label too, on Kent. $29.99. It's in a wax paper inner sleeve. Steve Earle, 61, 62, 64, 65, 67. Another Europe. Wings of Tomorrow. That's in shrink wrap. Europe is $29.99. Wings of Tomorrow, $29.99. So Steve Earle's going to go over here in slot number 1. Shane has that for $67. I've got 8. Wow, I can't believe I've already been through 8 crates. This is our 9th crate of the night. And I'm going to put up another new Japanese auction, which is going to be a Beatles 67 to 70. We always have the 62 to 66s. This is a very nice looking 67 to 70. This is going to be a $65 start. This one looks nice at first glance. Both LPs are near mint and pristine. The Beatles 67 to 70. It has the discography book. It also includes the lyric book. And it has both inner sleeves. Gatefold. It has a 4,000 yen price tag. Gatefold. A little bit of discoloration on the gatefold. So a little bit there and on the obi. The humidity got to this one just inside the gatefold, which I've seen before. I guess somehow the humidity gets trapped in there. So other than that, has both books and both inner sleeves. $65 start on that. Steve Earle is at 67 with Shane Devers. Luke Mitchell, you're out. Jeff McMaster, you're out. Craig Proper wants Europe. Is Fenton Robinson on Alligator? It is. Usually I mention if anything's on that label because we know what that means. It's probably going to be some good blues or blues rock. $19.99 on Fenton Robinson. ELO, a new world record. One of their best. Original inner sleeve. Near mint minus vinyl, $19.99. Paul Brothers wants Street, which was Streetwalkers. That's sold to Paul Brothers. Pamela First on ELO. And Michael Nath wants the B.B. King. Those are all sold. Nice. Give me back my bullets, Leonard Skinner. This is on the second label. So this is Skinner's 3rd album. And the first pressings are on like a black label with a rainbow. This is the Sky label. I will say, though, the vinyl is near mint. For some reason, we don't see that one as often. $34.99. By no means is it rare, but just if we get Leonard Skinner, it's usually the first one or sometimes the second one. But usually everybody's always looking for, give me back my bullets. That's probably the most requested. John Miller gets the Fenton. The Pat Benatar, that is Mr. Thomas. Is there a Benatar still left? It is. Tropico. Tropico is $14.99. It does have a braille strip on the cover. $14.99. Luke is back in on Steve Earle at $68. Steve Earle's at $68. We're looking for a $65 start on the Beatles. How about Christopher Cross? $9.99. Shane's at $70 on Steve Earle. Commander Cody Band. I don't know if I've ever had this one from Commander Cody. Lose It Tonight. $19.99. Commander Cody, Lose It Tonight. That sold very quickly to John Smetzer, and Thomas Bowman wants the... Oh, my bad. Well, actually, CC could mean Christopher Cross or Commander Cody. We for sure can go ahead and pull Thomas Bowman's Pat Benatar, and then we're going to see if John Smetzer wanted Commander Cody or Christopher Cross. He wants Christopher Cross. That's sold to John Smetzer, and Christopher Brusha gets Commander Cody. Those are all sold. Steve Earle's at $70. Luke says he's out. So we're just waiting for Jeff McMaster. Unless he's already said out, it's between Shane and Jeff McMaster. And I wasn't going to say it earlier, but when this thing wasn't getting a bid at first, I was about to say, I can't believe this isn't getting a bid. I thought it would bring close to $100. I've sold these before for close to $100, if not over $100. We had a really nice copy one time. It didn't have a hype sticker. It was in shrink wrap, and I know we sold it for over $100. That album's out of print too. I went to Steve Earle's catalog the other day